Yes, people, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. But more importantly, blue morning to you because, in fact, it is the Blue Morning Show. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join us for another Blue Morning Show, specifically transfers and some other news that may be out there that is related or aligned with events that are going on at Chelsea Football Club. But more importantly, like I said before, I hope you're doing well. So thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Let's get what we have in the chat already. As usual, again, Liam Lane, the captain of the house, is there. This is again Blue Morning Kachila panel and chat. Blue Morning to you too. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. It is again, yes, if you're coming in, let's see if we'll be able to replicate what we saw yesterday. The speed at which we reached 100 likes, it was just brilliant. And again, thank you so much for 7,387 subscribers. That's not easy because we just reached 7,000 subscribers a few days ago. So if you haven't, please take a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Bigger, bigger fool me to start taking any notice of what any of these journalists say outside of David Ornstein, who I will only listen to in the future. It's hard to tell because somebody was giving them information somehow. I don't know if somebody was just taking money from them and giving them the wrong information. I just do not know what's going on because it is everywhere. Even the kid who said again it was done, still don't count him out. You never know because it wasn't just him. Damasio was saying it was done. Even some of those again that are denying that they didn't say anything or again we're all saying it was close to being done. All that is left is just the final piece and yada yada. Fabrizio Romano himself did say something to that effect. But that's by the way, if this is the best Vivel can do in negotiation, then we are in big trouble. If what we're hearing is the truth, then we're shameless, really. We're great. We're gonna do one thing and then show up at the negotiation table, be having something else in mind, but we don't know really. The truth is, we don't know really what's going on. We have to again. All we do is speculate. So yeah, we'll move on from that. Morale of the story: wait only for Fabrizio Romano and Austin for a deal. The rest is only a waste of time. Not necessarily so. He's
Which
gotten a few wrong himself. He told us during the summer that again, yeah, we'll end up signing a Josko Vadio. That the difference is that he stays at Leipzig and joins us in June. Did that happen? No. It turns out we weren't even talking about him. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the case. Here's the thing: until you see the player. Right? That's again what happened yesterday. Brings me to what we've been preaching, what we preached here more again very often during the summer transfer window, telling people don't believe anything. If you just pick everything you see out there, dump them in a single bucket or group them if you prefer. Again, then name them. Speculation or rumors if you prefer until you see the player holding the shirt and there's an official announcement from the club, then that's when you know it's done, really. But again, at least the truth is the club again. We're talking to the players camp. We're also talking to Benfica, and I from what I've seen this morning as I woke up, talks are still on actually. Contrary to the report we saw yesterday that has collapsed. So yeah, that makes you learn that you don't have to believe everything you see out there. It's simple, but we'll look at what we have out there in a big Blue Morning Kachila panel and chat. Blue Morning to you too, Santiago Muno. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining the show. It's afternoon here in Zambia. Afternoon, Kachila. Afternoon to you too, Button Lambeka, my brother. I appreciate you finding time to join the show. Let's see. And again, once more, Happy New Year to everyone. It's not easy. We all made it to 2023. Yeah, unfortunately for us, Chelsea didn't start well. But if you remember, it is not how you started, but how it starts, but how it ends. So hopefully we'll end the year again with all, immense happiness. Again, thanking God for helping us achieve all our goals and all that. But that's why we move on from that one. We have this one here. Good morning, coach. I am listening from Trinidad and Tobago. And that's Sergio Ba. Big up, brother. Nice to see you. And thank you so much for finding the time to join us. Happy New Year to you too. We can go for Alvarez now. I don't think so because the Enzo deal is still not off really. If you, I still believe that we'll pull that one
Really?
out because if they don't sell now, they sell for cheap in the summer. Enzo and Modric deals both looking very unlikely. Really, I didn't know that, but we'll see what happens. We need a proper DM since Kante is injured, and again, and will take a while before he comes back. But let's see what happens. I still have an itchy throat, so yeah, sometimes I will mute the mic to cough it out. Fabrizio was wrong too. David Armstrong made one statement on the deal and said it was far from done and he was a spot on. Yeah, but again, Fabrizio said it was again that the deal has collapsed. It turns out it hasn't collapsed. We're learning this morning. So again, all speculations, but at least we'll learn that something is happening. Really, that's the more important thing. And Lee, nice to see you today, brother. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a very good Christmas and you're enjoying the festive period or the holidays because we're still there. Please do let us know that you're well. I know you're a very busy man because bills don't pay themselves. Happy New Year to you too, Coach. This embarrassing now with Chelsea shaking my head. Don't shake your head too hard so it doesn't fall off. Um, Nothing embarrassing there really. Again, I saw some tweet I liked. Some people were saying just pay the money. I remember saying, do I like him as a player? I like him as a player. Do I think 100 plus million euros is too much? Yes. And something the tweet from Couch Critic says something to the effect of, as long as we're not getting bent over, it's fine. Yeah, and that's what we don't want to be that club. Every time we want a player, a club will try to milk the life out of us. So I'm okay with us not paying overboard. And the good thing is that probably negotiations are still going on. So if you're watching people, 13 likes, let's try and push it the way we did yesterday. Let the likes go like this. In the beat, I'll put up a poll to get your opinion. Probably a lot of polls today. Hopefully, I'll remember them all. Um, and just saying hello to people there. Let's see. Good morning, Coach. Good morning to you too. Has kept me track. I hope you're doing well. Prince Boateng, another problem for Chelsea. Of my God, this club. What is going on? The same thing that happened during Haaland signing. Here's the thing. If we're being honest, it's just again we're a bit impatient, really. How long ago did we start talking to the Enzo camp? And this is, if it happens, if what we're hearing is true, it will be a British record. Yeah, even if it is not, it will come close to being that. Even 80 million is a lot of money. So I don't think it's taken too long actually. It was a few days ago, but we're very impatient because we want to see some signings given that we have lots of issues in the current squad. But that's by the way. Yep. Let's see. Sorry, say again. I'm not looking forward to today's game and the FA Cup game at the weekend. Even the manager himself doesn't sound like he's looking forward to it. So I don't blame you really. So Ty, coming to you straight up. I hope you're doing well, bro. Again, thank you so much for finding the time to join me
Can you
on the
hear me?
panel. Yeah, I can hear you crystal clear. Your thoughts on again the whole thing, the whole confusion, mixed reports. Yeah, and yeah, all of a sudden, boom! They're all nearly all of them started saying it's done, it has collapsed. Your thoughts, Ty?
Honestly, this whole I turned to Sherlock last night because all I was
Mm-hmm.
saying is this none of this is adding up. And when I looked at it, it still didn't add up. But if the explanation that we're given is true, then it makes a bit more sense to me, at least. I'm not sure if I should fully believe Fabrizio Romano, but if he's saying that verbally we agreed on a certain amount, and then when we went into the meeting, we decided to go with 85 million based on the developments with Enzo not being happy with the treatment he's gotten in terms of them offering him an opportunity to stay and to increase his pay and things like that. Perhaps they saw that as an opportunity to say let's go with a smaller amount because Enzo wants to move and he appears to be on the verge of pushing for it
Mm-hmm.
increasingly. So I think probably if that is to be believed, I can understand why the final bid that we went with is 85 million. The odd part for me as well, and why all these reporters that said it was in advance negotiations and it was payment options that we may discuss is how can you get that far if it's verbal? I don't get it because you
Mm.
need to be having the assurance that the amount verbally agreed will be the exact same one that you'll be negotiating with and for you to be starting out payment options. So I think a lot of them are reverting on what they were saying and they're trying to fix what they said to not look foolish. But there's no way for it to be changed because the whole logic of it makes no sense. I'm not sure, but I like you said, and I think many people need to understand. If not because this stock has collapsed, doesn't mean that Chelsea are going to give up on him. It does mean that then they may not go in with the release clause amount or go higher over it because they may just see this as an opportunity to say we can lowball it because Enzo wants to move and if he does one thing and one thing only, it can put the ball in on Chelsea's court. So I guess in that sense, it doesn't mean it's over, but I don't think Chelsea would be wasting time, and I think they have other targets they want to get. So it's about if they will reopen talks or if they'll move on. Yeah, and I don't really think this guarantees that they're going to move on.
No, I don't think Chelsea will move on from this one. Plus, there's no guarantee. What we're hearing was what happened. It's negotiations. So talks may break down, and again, and the clubs will say, "Okay, let's talk again." It happens. It didn't say they fought. It didn't say again they punched each other. So it broke down because probably was what we were offering didn't work. But as we're hearing, some good news that the talks are still ongoing, despite reports out there. But that's by the way. Let's see what we have here. One thing with Chelsea, one thing with Chelsea, when you expect them to lose a big game, they surprise you. But I won't hold my breath. Don't, don't.
I
I
haven't
advise
seen
you
that
not
Chelsea
to.
in a while.
Yeah, you mean the Chelsea that shows up in big games in a while? You could
Yeah,
argue
I
we
haven't
still,
I haven't
you
seen that.
yeah, you could say we still have that Chelsea, given how well we did against Man City the last time we played them. We could have won that game had we put away the chances we had. Yeah, but that's by the way we move on from that one. But I get your argument there. This one here, ever since Chelsea lost both Michael MNLO and Marina Granovskaya, closing out a top-notch transfer have been difficult. As much as I loved Marina when she was still at Chelsea, and all those names you mentioned, I think I beg to differ in terms of closing deals. We don't have enough sample to argue that there are deals we've closed quicker than we've ever seen at Chelsea Football Club. Even had we signed Rafinha, it'd be one of the quickest, if we're being honest. So yeah, but I get why you feel like that. I think we're all a bit impatient, if we're being honest. Machine Day, Constant. Good afternoon, sir. Tuned in from Nairobi, Kenya. Big up, brother. I hope you're doing well. Our teams need a shock absorber. Modric and Enzo will salvage the Blues. We're sinking. Indeed, we're sinking. I hope things turn around for good. Um, yeah, but getting these two players in this same window, as much as I want Modric, it's going to be really tight, but I think we can pull it off. The owners will find a way to structure the deal so we don't get into trouble with FFP. The news is Chelsea are 40 million short from Enzo's price tag. Yes, yeah, I saw that too. But I think they will eventually come to an agreement because it wouldn't make sense for Benfica to play hardball and then end up selling him for cheap in the summer. It doesn't make any sort of business sense. So I think they will eventually sell him to us. At what price, we don't know. We get to know the price at which we're getting him after the deal is done. Right now, uh, we're not sure what's going on. Lots of confusion yesterday. Okay, let's see what we have here. Let's start looking at the what we have lined up here. The first one says Chelsea and Benfica still on their valuation of Enzo Fernandez. Talks are ongoing despite a report of a deal collapsing. Ty, I'm going to go straight to asking you, how much did you trust? Do you trust Simon Phillips?
I have enough trust in him. I think
Mm,
I was in a big argument because I was trying to get people to understand that some
mm,
things that I'm seeing in terms of him being blamed for what he said, it's not really logical because I think people don't really understand how journalism works.
Hmm.
You have a source, you trust that source, and when that source tells you something, you come out and you report what they say. It doesn't mean that that is exactly what you are saying, but people
Hmm.
don't understand that. But I have enough trust in him because although many people say he guesses a lot of the time, he's come out with some things months ahead, and it's actually become the truth. So I don't know, he must have some godlike notion, and he has some ability to be able to guess the future, because he has been accurate in so many things. But I mean, people are able to believe what they want to believe, but that's something interesting though.
Yeah, it's interesting indeed. Let's see what happens. If BBC is reporting it also, sometimes because of the size of that, the entity BBC, they don't want to risk too much and get into trouble for, peddling or releasing false information. I think this shows again something is still going on, but we'll find out in a bit. Again, if you're watching, we have just 16 likes. Please do take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much for 16 likes. We can do better than that. Let's keep dropping the likes on the video. The likes do trigger the YouTube algorithm, which in turn pushes the stream to more people that be interested in the particular topic, well, in the topics we have lined up. So thank you so much, and please keep liking the stream. Let's get it to 100 as soon as possible, just like we did yesterday. This is again the one thing that winds me up more than anything. Too many people saying that too much regarding transfers. The only people who knows what's going on is the two clubs. Are the two clubs involved again, and then the players camp. But sometimes again, that's why I've always advised people whenever you see these things, just see them as speculations. Bring them together, put two and two together, you come to a sensible conclusion. The most important again conclusion that I've gotten since this is going on is that we're really looking at the player. And if you pay attention to all the outlets or accounts, what they're saying, they're actually similar. They're just presenting it through a different perspective. But yeah, it's been mixed also. If we're being truthful to ourselves, but let's see again. We're there today. Let's see what happens. Please like and subscribe when you enter. If you have not, as it helps the channel reach a wider audience. And yes, it looks like we're moving at lightning speed already. 21 likes already, and thank you so much for that. I sincerely do appreciate that. Simon Phillips is one of the better ones reporting any Chelsea news. That makes sense. And the vibes. Nice to see you, brother Simon and Felix Johnson. How can two twins be so hideous? Yeah, that's hilarious because the one that, again, the kid that reported that it's done and dusted, his name is Felix Johnson. Yep. And that was why when I was doing that shot, I said, okay, according to, and that we will continue to seek further confirmation on the news because I wasn't sure. And I asked, some people say they trust him, some say they don't. But that's by the way, we'll move on from him. I forgot to hit the like button. Too late. But that's by the way, bro. Again, take your time, hit the like button whenever you can. Coming to you, Hakeem. Yeah, your thoughts on what's been going on the past few days?
Yeah, hello, Coach. How is everybody? I hope everyone is good. Okay, and
Fine, fine. Thank you
happy,
for asking. I hope you're well.
yeah, happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year to
Um,
you too.
for me, to be honest, like I like what is going on. I like what is going on for people to know that listen, you can't just be depending on everybody from news. Like if Fabrizio Romano comes and says something, doesn't mean that you should put your assurance on it. Like he's not part of Chelsea. He's not part of um, any team. He's just a gossiper who find something and then bring it online. So I don't know why people rally their faith on people. Like I know, okay, they sometimes they have concrete, like they bring something which is concrete and it happens, but that doesn't mean that you rally 100% behind whatever that they put on online. So
Hmm.
for me, I'm really happy what is going on. Whenever I see something like this, I just I only be like, oh, okay, this is nice, but I never put my 100% faith in it because the only people that I would like to the only time that I'm really assured about things like this is when I see the player when they say like he's done deal or he's on medicals and or seeing the player holding the Chelsea jersey. this is when I'm ready, because we've all witnessed when Willian was going to, I don't know, Tottenham, and then boom, he came to Chelsea. We also saw when Mykhailo was going to Manchester United, like it was done deal, and then boom, he came to Chelsea. So this should taught us a lesson. So for me, what is going on with this, I'm really happy about it. I've never put in my faith in any of these people, even though sometimes they bring something that it happens. And about Enzo Fernandez, what I heard and still I don't trust is they said we are 4 million short from his main
40 million.
Yeah, 40 million short from his main release clause, which I guess that from the start, because I know if like Chelsea is to have the full money, I know Benfica wouldn't batch, like they'll release it, because we know Benfica, this is how they make most of their money. Like they sell players and make money out of it. So for me, I noticed there's something fishy going on. Like what is keeping this from not happening? And even the player also wanted to happen. The player was like, there was a lot of negative news about the player. You could tell the player is doing something for him to be sold, but still the club isn't budging. So for me, I noticed there's something going on. But I hope the team, the team get it sorted out, and then we have, because to tell you the truth, like for me, I don't care about the money. I don't care. I just want to see us winning. I just want to see the players that will help us to win in the club. So I want him to, and he is the type of player also we need in the team. So for me, I want them to get it done, and then we should focus on the left back. That is more important. The right back, that is more important to me than everything apart from this. So they should just get it done, and then let's focus on to get like Reece James replacement.
Yep. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for taking the time to present your contribution this morning. But that's, by the way, again, quickly, I want to say again, thank you guys for 27 likes. Keep dropping the likes. It's 25 votes right now and 27 likes. Soon, I know, quite sure, I can swear, the votes on the poll will soon overtake the amount of likes we have. But that's, by the way, we have IBZ in the house. IBZ, Happy New Year, brother. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. How have you been, brother? All right. It looks like IBZ isn't close to his mic.
Sorry, I didn't know. Sorry, I had the radio on the background. Hello.
Hey,
hello,
hi, how are you doing, bro? Nice to have you on. I hope you enjoyed your New Year and your Christmas.
Yeah, man. Happy New Year, guys.
Brilliant. Your thoughts on the confusion, again, you could say that developed yesterday. It's been, again, overall, before time, the reports were mixed. They were contradicting each other. Some were just repeating what others were saying. But again, it broke out yesterday's evening, that talks, broke down. So your thoughts on what's going on? This morning we're seeing a different news that talks have actually continued. But your thoughts on the whole situation?
I don't even bother. It's too much headache to even get into, man. I didn't follow it, to be honest with you. I treated it as baseless. No offense to anyone that's following it or intrigued in it, but I saw no clout in it. I still see no clout in it. I'm so sorry. It might be a lot of people might. I just don't see. I don't see. I just believe
you don't see the deal happening, or
yeah, what? I don't see it now. No, I think people got a lot of issues to deal with. Even still, okay, let's just say it was what it was. I just feel that there was a lot of people just running away with this. I saw a lot of people running away with the narrative that this player has signed, it's sealed. People saying he's in London, like they bought him plane ticket. I don't understand. I don't know. I think it's just the world we live in now, coach. I mean, everything's overhyped, and you've got journalists on social media, and then you got people that will share the opinion of what the journalist says, and people form another opinion, and it culminates into a snowball effect that people have an expectation that things will happen when things have not even been signed in the first place. So that's just the game, innit? So it's you just have to be very smart not to go into that washing machine of a cycle of oh, we've got this guy and we're getting this guy, and I heard from this newspaper that we're gonna get this guy, and like really we need to have a bit more clout in ourselves, have a bit more decorum in ourselves and our thinking, and not to be strayed by any report that you see our players gonna come. Just think about it for a second. Just take a look back and think about it for a second. Don't act as if you're in the negotiations. That's so you will know the ins and outs. They're not asking for your opinions on the negotiation. But just realistically figure out, can this really be done, and does this, and I think if we as fans do that more, we'll be less and less disappointed. Now I'm seeing people going after the journalists. I'm like, why are you going after a journalist? Why are people attacking journalists? Journalists are just reporting. They're not actually the negotiators or the people that signed the deals. So why is everyone going after the journalists? So everyone's just a lost cause in my eyes, and it's only because you follow the circus, you follow the washing machine. You allow yourself to enter your head in the washing machine, so you're just in a spinning cycle. And when you come out, and you see that the clothes ain't washed. You're always angry. Why are you angry for, bro? Just relax, chill out. Yeah, it will come. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. But everyone runs away with the narrative. People were doing compilation videos. He signed. I'm like, hang on, when did he sign? I don't understand. What makes us better equipped to sign these players than our competitors? Is it because of money? What if we get, God forbid, what if we get relegated next year and we enter the championship? Are we still attracting the likes of these guys? So I just think it's just a lot of optimism, which is good to be optimistic, but a lot of wayward optimism. Just yeah, we're gonna get this guy, But it is what it is. That's the game, innit? We are modern fans. We are grown up on success and having the best in class playing for us. So we always want that, and it's fine. It's okay. But me, if you ask me, I didn't believe it. I didn't run away with it. I just look and laugh, and it's what it is.
Yeah, I totally understand.
The
Again,
legendary IDC.
yeah, the legendary IBs.
What are you saying, time, man? Long time.
So yeah, again, I think something you said that's very important. The reason it's easy to, again, for one people, because once it starts, whoever, again, everybody that retweets or reshares the information enhances the information to suit the way they reason or the way they interpret. They understood or what's being, again, the information that's being shared. So gradually, a bit by bit, as little information is being added to it, it comes to at a point where by the time it gets to someone else, he just says, okay, you know what, this is actually done. And I'm going to say it's done.
Exactly.
And that's dangerous. So we should
exactly.
learn.
And you now get that. When you now get that, you now get expectations from followers, and followers will now be expecting. And when a deal doesn't go ahead, like let's just keep one thing straight. Just because of journalists, I'm not siding with journalists here. I just believe that maybe if you have more concrete, rather than just keep updating your page every hour on the same negotiation, why not wait a bit so you get the concrete? I understand negotiations take time and there's a lot of dialogue between them, but rather than update every hour by clickbaiting and giving people false sense, or you look like more of an idiot, rather than just do it at pinpoint times or highlight the key moments of the negotiation. Again, the journalists are just doing what they're supposed to do. They are giving the news, and they're reading it to the masses. Now the masses will take it in, and the masses will take it as gospel, because probably they don't have any other way of deciphering, oh, is this true or false, or like any rationale towards it. So when the deal doesn't happen, you get people saying, oh, Fabrizio Romano, you're a fraud, you're fake, you fake guy. I mean, sorry, guys. I mean, do you ever have any links to your club to get any sources? I mean, I think Fabrizio Romano is I think he's absolutely perfect for this game. This new age of journalism through Twitter and on so many others, including all the Matt Laws and all these Simon Johnson, all these guys. You know what I mean? Like, I think these guys do good diligence to keep us informed. Obviously, you get the other Twitter accounts that want to leech off that. So based off credible journalists, they will create their own account and probably retweet what the journalist has said, and they will interpret it in their way, so the dialogue is understandable to their followers, and then you have a snowball effect. And obviously now those shadow journalists for the official journalists that write for newspapers and what have you, they will now be the forefront of the source, as opposed to those that were originally tweeting it. I'm just giving an example of so many. I've seen so many like football club
understandable, yeah.
parody. These like, hang on, mate, you're just. I'm not, no disrespect, but you're just retweeting what my man said. You have no source. I beg, what kind of source would you have inside the club? Would it be an agent? Would it be a footballer? Would it be a chef? You know, you're trying to dissect what source will there be for, you know, Twitter to go ahead with a narrative that this is done. It's just a big washing machine, and everyone just needs to take a step back, relax. Deals will happen. We're gonna get deals done, and we're gonna get signings, but not everything is a runaway. I mean, I don't want to talk on Enzo. I don't know the kid. I only saw him in the World Cup, and I only saw bits of him in the World Cup. I didn't see him.
Unfortunately, actually, for being honest, I think this is something we've talked about before. The hype really is, again, from people seeing his performance at the World Cup, not really his overall performance of Benfica and Argentina. He did quite well at World Cup, and there's no taking that away from him.
I don't believe he's a bad footballer. So I think he's actually good at from what.
No, I understand, but I'm saying again, majority of the hypes.
I believe he's been overhyped now because obviously, you know, his performance. He's a World Cup winner. His performances at the World Cup. He's young. You know, he's a profile that a lot of clubs want. And his price has been overinflated because of his achievements. He's a player that nearly cost, say, 20 million, or maybe less than that if I'm wrong, to Benfica.
And plus, the truth is, we want to get him now.
And we want to get him now.
They've always said if you're buying him now, you have to pay the release clause.
Exactly, which is, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we just sit here and wait. I would like to see more proactive signings in positions we actually need. I would have liked us to be linked, like we were linked to Enzo. I would have loved us to be linked to a right back, like the way we were linked to this Enzo.
I think the rumors are that we're looking at options in the right back.
No, 100%. No, I understand that, but like,
but the issue is there isn't like a concrete name. There isn't like a concrete name from the Chelsea sources.
No, it only becomes concrete when negotiations are advancing. That's when the journalists will start hearing again from their sources that something is going on. At this point, there's a chance they're still considering the players within, again, the hierarchy of the club. The technical director, the scout, and the manager are looking at certain players, considering, okay, which of them will be the best suitable for our current project. Journalists don't know that until really it gets to a certain stage, or it gets to a stage where we send representatives to that club input to the selling club. That's when, again, you start hearing it, again, blowing up everywhere on Twitter. But go ahead with what you want to say. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat before it grows too much.
But the issue also is, like, we started having this. I'm adding up to what my brother was saying. The issue is like the issue of the right back started way before even the World Cup. So, and Enzo after the World Cup, Enzo is blowing up everywhere. Like, it should be right back name.
Right back that should be blowing up everywhere.
Should be blowing up everywhere.
Any right back, a rubbish right back, a sick right back, a potential right back, an old right back. A right back should be thrown around. Oh, this guy, this right back, this right back, this right back. That's the priority we need. So what my understanding is, you know what? I believe that anyone outside the club doesn't have a clue. I'll just keep it 100%.
It is really as simple as that. Yeah.
If you're not in the inner circle of the board meetings, transfer recruitment meetings, we have no Solomon clue what is going on. That is just my opinion. And obviously, everything outside is just rumors and what we feel is going to be done. I believe that maybe the recruitment are looking into these things, and once they are put into action, then we'll be given a notification or some sort of know-how that these things are happening. From now, I don't think that what we are being given or what's being fed to the fans is what is actually happening. I don't believe so. I believe there's more finer details of recruitment in hand. I like that Fofana for Modest deal. That was signed, sealed, delivered in a jiffy. But obviously, you can argue that's just part of the transfer plan that they want to do, signing young, building them for the future. But obviously, you will argue we need now. So I'm just not happy that we are not, we haven't got a cover for Reece James. We've been screaming this since I joined this channel in June or May or whenever. We need if Reece James gets injured, what happens? And we saw what happened. We got injured last game. So, I just surprised that we're not having news about the right backs that we actually need, positions we actually need. Like, we need a right back. We probably do need a centre mid in comparison to the centre mids we have. Obviously, they're not good enough, injury, what have you, or form, but that's not a pressing concern as opposed to a right back, is it? Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's what it is. I guess they'll sort
Yeah,
it out.
it is again. Plus, the transfer window again became officially open on the 1st of January. So there's still time. Let's see what happens. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat so it doesn't before it becomes too much. Honestly, Zubairi Rayman says, honestly, I have mixed feelings on the Enzo situation, but at the same time, with the type of cash we can strengthen more than just one position, as I do believe we need a massive change. We do need massive change, and I'm sure the club recognize that. I don't think Enzo doesn't solve all the problems we have in the team, but he improves us. More importantly, like IBC just reiterated something we've talked about, we've been talking about for a long time now. We need a right back. But you could argue the reason why both even Thomas Tuchel and what's his name and Graham Potter they both haven't taken that seriously is because they play wingers in the again in the wing back position. So maybe that they're not prioritizing that if there isn't enough money, to make it happen now. So to them, they can put that aside and look at other positions. But I hope they do this time. Christian Davis said all these journalists are after clickbait. Best to wait when it is on the CFC website. You can again. That's a good advice. When you get an official statement from the club, that's not when you know a deal is done. Indeed.
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off, Coach. I'm sorry to cut
Mm-hmm.
you off. I mean, is there a problem in not receiving? Is there a problem in receiving the news later in from the Chelsea website? I think there's a FOMO culture going on, fear of missing out, missing out on the breaking news, fear of missing out of this event. There's the fear of missing out, and it's fine. It's fine not to hear the news now and hear on Chelsea website when it's signed, sealed, and delivered, whether or not you chose to take in the rumors or not. And it's true. Like, I think we don't want to miss out. We want to be the first to know. We want to be the first to break the news. We want to be the first point of contact when the news breaks. That we probably lose all our senses in doing so. So we'll say this guy's coming, this guy's here. I heard
to add one more to it, the fear of other clubs doing better than us. Yes. Because if you pay attention to what we're seeing on Twitter, it's just most Chelsea fans saying, again, for instance, all the rumors that we've joined the race, the fight for Mykhailo Modric. Some are saying PTSD from us going after Rafinha. He wanted another club, and we went for him. And I'm like, wait, this is business. If you don't buy tickets, you don't win lottery. And Todd Boehly didn't become a millionaire by, again, being sentimental or fearing rejection. That's who we are with Chelsea. We go for him. If it doesn't work, Arsenal fans can laugh all they want. But I get your point. Great point there. The biggest problem with this deal is all down to fair play. Yeah, the financial fair play. Chelsea needed to do the deal, which doesn't impact fair play. They need an installment, structure. Payment structure, an installment structure, so that they pay bit by bit, and after each payment, have the leeway to balance the books and not get into trouble. And blue morning to you, Blue Clouds Media. I hope you're doing well, bro. Whenever you get the time, you don't have to even tell me. Share the link to your channel so people can go check it out. Good morning, saying hello to him. Good morning to you all. Good morning, Johnson William. Nice to have you here. And this is Ronnie Rex saying Jorginho covers his love so sick. All are played as defensive midfielders when they cannot defend. And that's why our defense suffer because opponents penetrate the midfield easily and disturb our defenders. One thing I want to say also, it doesn't look like Graham Potter values what defensively minded players, let's say DMs, what they bring to the team, the importance of having one. Maybe I'm not sure, because the last time we had was Zakaria on the pitch, he played with a structure that means Zakaria wouldn't actually be available to protect the defense. Even after the game against Bournemouth, when he played centrally alongside Jorginho, he helped he was the person that made sure we didn't concede on the day. So it's surprisingly why he played him on the flanks like a winger. I just don't understand really. But that's by the way we'll move on from that. The season is gone. I don't care how to right back. You could argue it's gone, but mathematically, again, we could still change things if we make the strategic signings this January window. But let's see what happens. Internally, I am sure they are looking at right back. Yes, that's what I'm saying. We'll only get to know about it once again, get to the critical stage of.
What do you mean by internally?
Internally, as in within the hierarchy, within the club. They're probably looking at what.
If you're looking internally on the right back, I'm saying what?
Oh, no. I don't think that's again. No, I don't think that's what he meant. But that's by the way. It is the same midfield we have. We will always face these problems, no matter which coach we bring. That's a good argument right there. Links to a right back does not save the season, if we're being honest, really. But it makes a difference. If we're being honest too. Coach, again, you think Potter will utilize a Pep today? I hope that happens. Here's the thing. I like being objective, really. The last time we played Man City in a cup game, I know some will say they didn't start with their strongest 11. It doesn't matter. Whoever starts for Man City can get into any Premier League team. We outplayed them, really. We didn't just, again, as usual, the usual story. We weren't clinical enough. Lewis Hall could have scored 2 goals. I think Christian Pulisic could have scored 2 goals. We had the chance to score about 4 or 5 goals at least. But on the day, even if you look at the numbers, the XG says the same. We played better. We could have won the game. I think the only thing they had more was the possession, really. So there's a chance we can, because here's the thing, they're not going to defend deep. They will always come at us. So there's space. So maybe that's the reason why we always do well with, again, when we play the big teams on the ground, Potter. But when we struggle when we play against teams that defend deep, I hope that's not the case. But let's see what happens. Also, there's a real shortage of right backs. Again, good right backs on the market right now, if we're being honest. Like Jorginho Kovacic, who are defensive
Depends
midfielders
on how low your scouting range is. You know, the good scouting ranges. The world is a big place. You know, there's a lot of footballers in this world. There's a lot of players that can play right back at a high level. So it depends on how far your scouting range will allow you to go. I can think of a lot of right backs. You know, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
but coach, again, I want to say something.
Yeah, just quickly, let me catch up with this. Here's the link to TyTalk's YouTube channel. If you haven't, please take a second to go check it out. And you see that what we're talking about, we have 69 votes, participants in the poll. But right now, we have just 41 likes. You can do better than 41 likes. So if you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, Euro, again, is a buy. And I'm not sure. Enro, I'm not sure. Do you mean Enzo? I will come and join the panel as soon as I can, Coach. Okay, thank you so much, bro. I hope you're doing well. Hello to you too. I hope you're doing well. Talking Ben 121. I hope you're doing well. Internally meaning scouts and the team. Yep, I think Ty now understands that Chelsea is going to win, beat Man City. Okay, I hope to see that happening. Go ahead, Hakeem. You wanted to say something.
I said, yesterday I was thinking, Enzo's price tag is 120, and Chelsea is willing. Like, if Chelsea has to get a deal done, Chelsea have to pay like 130 million euros. And I was thinking, 130 million euros. Imagine Brighton has 130 million euros. Imagine Napoli has 130 million. Imagine Atlanta has 130 million. Imagine teams like Valencia or Villarreal has 130 million. Imagine the magic they would have done with that money. Trust me, if they have 130 million euros, they can. I don't know how they'll be able to do it, but they will even get like a player like Enzo Fernandez, like 5 players out of this, and all of them, especially teams like Brighton in the Premier League, they will make sure that like they will use the money wisely. But let's also talk about how Chelsea have been blowing money and we don't get any results. We don't get nothing from these players, Raheem Sterling and the others. we buy these players like 50 million, 70 million, and like they come and we don't see anything that they do. So I was just thinking, imagine that these other teams that I've mentioned have 130 million, what they would have done with this money. I hope you get what I'm trying to say.
No, I do. I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. If they were given those fees to spend, they'll probably find the talent to get better players than what we are spending over 100 million for. But
on a single player,
we big clubs go. This is the thing with big clubs I've noticed, in it. It's only a rarity they will develop their own or find a gem, but usually big clubs will go for the finished article or a potential of or highly rated from these smaller teams. It's the small teams that's got to graft, build that player up, get the have extensive scouting. All the best players. If you look at where they started their career, you'd be giving credit to the clubs, giving credit to clubs like Le Havre in France, giving credit to clubs like PSV. These clubs, but who are they in Europe standing? Yeah, you're right though. That if you give these guys 100 million, they'll probably find you another Haaland, 2 Mbappes, and 5 Vidics in the next 4 years where you can poach them for. But that's just the game. Unfortunately, we'll just hope for better days that we know how to spend our money wisely. Not every big club can spend money.
I think in terms of the money we spend, I think that would change at Chelsea.
Oh yeah,
right
yeah.
now,
I think doing what he has to do.
Yeah, again, we're just trying to secure the immediate future because we're in trouble right now. So they're trying to fix that. And I think
so as well, yeah.
I think the reason being they understand the importance of making it into the top 4. And again, because if you're not doing well, big brands will look away. It is as simple as that. If you do well, that's when big brands look at you. But that's, by the way, Chelsea is going to win Man City. Well, again, I hope that happens. Yes, guys, please like and subscribe. Now, I'm looking at that thing that breaks my heart, really. 75 votes already, but we have just 47 likes. If you're watching, you don't have to participate in the chat. I know some people are watching but cannot participate in the chat, but you can do us a favor, a tiny bitty favor. If it took you a second to participate in the poll, it take you equally, again, half a second actually, to click the like button. That does go a long way for us. But thank you for watching anyway, even if you're not participating in the chat. Thank you so much. We sincerely do appreciate that. Yes, keep liking the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Okay, we move on to the next topic. And if you want to come in anytime you see anything we're talking about, you can do so. Yep, this shows talks are still ongoing, despite reports that, again, of the deal collapsing. But that's, by the way. Let's move on to what we have lined up next here. I think I should close that one out because I have quite a lot open. It looks like it's smoking the memory of my machine. As of now, Chelsea and Benfica, this was yesterday, if you ask me. Am I correct? Yep. As of now, Chelsea and Benfica are no longer speaking about Enzo Fernandez, and there is no new meeting scheduled between the two clubs after a disagreement over the payment terms. Okay, so we'll move on from that one. Just to show everything we saw yesterday, this is news I wanted us to look at. I think this is going to be mixed up. If it's mixed up, I'm just going to skip this one for a bit. I don't want us to be going back and forth and end up. Nope. Okay, let's talk about this one now. This is, again, if a fee is ultimately agreed with Chelsea, or one of Enzo Fernandez's other suitors, Benfica are legally obliged to detail its terms to the Portuguese Securities Market Commission. So once that, again, this shows that, again, if in fact anything has happened and it's done, we'll be hearing that from other sources, not just from the mouth of a journalist. We will see the information in the Portuguese Exchange website. So this makes sense that we looked at it right now. So that shows you when it's done, it won't be just a journalist. Potter isn't a good coach. Again, if that's how you see it, that's a first for me. That's the first for everything. I have my reservations, but I'm not going to go into that. Is he a good coach? I think he is. He was able to get Brighton playing as a unit and playing without fear. He's a good coach. But again, there's another level after being a good coach. If we're being honest, yes, people, please keep liking the stream. And again, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It is we're at 51 likes now. but the vote is 80 votes, and we're not even close to it. So if you haven't liked the stream and subscribed to the channel, if you haven't, can Chelsea wait that long, 3 to 4 years to grow a talent? We want to win now. That's what Chelsea wants a microwave quickly. I think you have to be patient, given the new owners. They're planning for long term. They want a situation where if we start dominating, we'll dominate for a stretch of time. Because the truth remains, yeah, we won quite a lot under Roman Abramovich, but the truth remains, again, the success we achieved under Roman Abramovich all came in patches. There's never been a time where we dominate. We dominated the Premier League or Europe or the world at large. But in this case, I think they have that vision to dominate and dominate for a stretch of time. Not just they don't want the success to come in patches. That's why they're making plans for the long-term future, giving the manager the length of contract they gave him, and also signing young players that in a year or two, that even some of them are ready to be part of the first team, and they will be here for a long time. And the contracts are all long, 6 years, 7 years. And in football, if you understand football quite well, if you keep a crop of player together for a long time, they can perform miracles. So they can be unbeatable, really. So with that, they have a plan for the future. But right now, the scramble you're seeing from them, what seems as if we're panicking just to solve the immediate future, to make sure we don't have, we'll solve the problems we have at hand right now and still be successful or do well by the time the season ends. Yeah, I get it. Again, we can wait, really. Whether you like it or not, you'd have to wait. Bolly isn't a man you can push into, again, just making such mistakes. He didn't become a billionaire by being dumb. I want Man City to beat Chelsea so that they will go in and make the right signings. Okay, let's see what happens. I hope that doesn't happen. To be honest, the coach even needs to prove himself. That's the truth. He has nothing to show in terms of trophies. So maybe, again, it's an opportunity for him to work even harder to, again, maybe win us Champions League and prove everybody wrong, including me, I have to be honest. We'll move on to this one. As I read all these things we have lined up, if you're on the panel and you want to comment, that's fine. As of now, Chelsea and Benfica are no longer speaking. That was yesterday, so I'm just going to move on from this one because it seemed just like a repeat of the other one. After at the meetings and negotiations between Benfica and Chelsea for Enzo Fernandez got stuck. I think this is a better language, got stuck, not collapsed. Got stuck. Chelsea did not arrive at the amount with which they had started with. For now, there's no other meeting scheduled for the next few days. Here's the thing, this is shameless, really. How can you say you pay a certain amount and then try to, again, to bamboozle who you're dealing with? Again, I'd feel disrespectful if I'm on the side of Benfica and probably will respond in a manner that you won't like or say, we're not meeting until you bring what you promised, but we're not sure if that's really the case. Yes, people, keep liking the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. So thank you so much for all the love. Let's see what else we have here. We have this one here. I'm going to close out this one so it doesn't cost me problems. Okay, this one is just me clicking all around, looking again. Enzo Fernandez willingness to join Chelsea means the move is not dead. This is simple common sense. And I love this. This is simple common sense. And I think Kai alluded to that already. Again, and the Blues could include one of their own players in a player swap deal. I'm learning, but
yeah, there's one thing too. Yeah.
Go ahead, Ty. Once you're done, I'll talk about it also.
Yeah. There's this big news about we've already offered that. So when you go to that, you'll see. You'll probably discuss it in greater detail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think I have it open somewhere, but the argument is that the rumors have it that we're factoring Hakim Ziyech into the deal, plus what's his name? That's not going to help matters if he hears. He's going to start acting like he's depressed again on the pitch. And then we're also trying to factor in a loan deal for Datro Fofana in the deal. And I'm not shocked because we've done that before. Go ahead, Ty. You wanted to say something?
That would be foolish to do.
It will be.
Because Potter is not ideally he doesn't really have trust in in Aubameyang like that. He's not really his preference because he sees him as it slows down the play and you need to do certain things to get the best out of him. So if you're
Mhm.
gonna do that and you don't trust him, the only other player you're gonna have is Havertz, and Havertz can't play every game. Havertz needs somebody to come on for him as a substitution or needs to be rotated with. And without unless they're gonna go for some striker in this window, they're making space and they're gonna give Fofana an opportunity. It would be a good club to send him to, but it was rejected anyways if it's true. But I just found that weird that you're gonna be loading out a striker
Mhm.
that you said you're going to evaluate first, and unless they did some evaluation over the last 24 hours and they said, you know what, he needs to learn something. Let's send him to Portugal.
Yeah, again, I agree with you. I don't think Fofana should actually be sent out on loan. He's good enough to do better than what we have. Really, I don't know if it would be fair to say to start comparing him with what's his name with Armando Broja. I think they're both good players. So let me move on from that. But in terms of again, Armando Broja is out, and the only traditional striker you could say, or not really traditional striker, known striker. Let me just phrase it like that. Is Aubameyang, and he can't run that much. So in some games where you'd like your attacker number 9 to do a lot of running, he's not your man. Datro Fofana also can play on the flanks, and he has. You can say if you look at his numbers, he has better numbers than some of the that graph. I really want to look at that graph again. I think I'll find it. It was Lam Lane that sent it to me. I'll find it. We'll look at it in a bit when we talk about him. The club considering giving him an opportunity. That's not a talent. The sort of numbers he has for this particular season is not the sort of talent you send out on loan, really. If anything, if you're arguing it was again he played in a weak league, then he just needs time to adapt to this one, and he'd be firing on all cylinders. But that's by the way. We'll move on from that one. I pray again that Chelsea make top 4. I pray so too. That's very important to me. Kuchila, again, we have no hope at any time of dominating. There's too many clubs with big money behind them for any one team to dominate. I think that's a good observation, really, which is one of the reasons why, again, the club's doing well now in terms of money and everything that I argue if we miss out of top 4, it will be very difficult to get back in. And plus everything that's going on, I think I'm going to have to say this. I'm inclined to say that Todd Boehly looks like someone who'd say, "Bring on the Super League, we're in," because by the time we don't get into top 4 and the impact it will have on the club's in the club's pocketbook, he will realize. I think yeah, we need to do something differently to start making money too. But that's why we'll move on from that. Man City will dominate our midfield today. Most definitely, they will keep the ball more than we do. But let's see what happens. You never know. We couldn't learn from what happened during last transfer market. This again to tell you that the board are new in the game. They always find it difficult to make the right signings. Here's the thing: in the summer, whatever happened, how badly we performed during the summer transfer window wasn't again really down to the incompetence of the board or those in charge. It was really due to the sales conundrum, the sanctions on the club, where everybody's priority then was to ensure that the club survives the sanction and not go into financial administration and all that. So we didn't start talking to players on time. So I wouldn't say anything that happened then was down to them not knowing what they're doing. They actually did better. They shocked a lot of people, given how many players we were able to bring in. We nearly signed Kunde. We just gave up. At one point, maybe some people looked at some numbers and say, this isn't really the man for us. And we let him go. In the case of Rafinha, we heard how quickly we got everything. Leeds accepted the offer we had on the table for them. It was just Rafinha who refused to play for us. So again, I think we did quite well this past summer transfer window. Yeah, even though we didn't get all our signings. Yeah. Let's see what we have here again. Including some players from the deal will not help Chelsea as a club. This can also create a big problems to our dressing room. It can. But plus also again, factoring a player into again the sale of one player or the purchase of one player isn't actually that simple because the club, the other club values again may value that player differently than you do. then that becomes an issue to come to a solution. Just one second, please. Just 1 second, I can mute. Okay, yeah, thank you so much, Iman. Hakim, for muting that. When you're talking, you can unmute. With all this reporting on Enzo, I wouldn't be surprised if there's no Nkunku deal. No, Nkunku deal is sealed. But we didn't. Did we get an official announcement for Nkunku? We didn't really. Did we? If you're in the chat, let me know if we got an official statement for Nkunku. If not, yeah, then I'm not gonna question your fear really. If you're watching and you haven't, please take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Thank you so much, guys. We have 56 likes, but we have 95 votes on the poll. We should be doing better than 56 likes, guys. Please, so keep liking the video. Can we get again the new Chelsea again? Time of Mourinho. Here's one thing I believe is that I still think Mourinho will come back to Chelsea soon. To join this current to work for the current ownership. Believe me, and I'm serious about that. Chelsea should wake up if no top four. Okay. God help us. City are gonna crucify us, especially on that right side of the pitch. I think we'll be fine. We'll actually play better today because I think Ziyech will most likely start. I believe if Graham Potter knows what he's doing. I think also Kovacic starts. I'm not sure what the pairing is going to be, but we'll see. Probably again. I think if Kovacic is fit enough, we'll probably see Graham Potter drop. What's his name? The Swiss international to the bench. But let's see what he does there. I don't think Chelsea is good like that. Okay. Vanoa Ishwara Loganathan, bro, it's been a while. I hope you enjoyed your new year. Hello, coach again. Long time no see. Indeed, bro. Just let me know that you're doing well. Any update on the Leeds keeper? You don't make me cry. I don't know why we're being linked with that guy. We talked about him yesterday, but I don't believe it, really. I think it's absolute nonsense. I don't want you to believe it too, bro. It doesn't make any sort of sense. Tell me if he's a goalkeeper you'd like to see at Chelsea. I'd rather we go for so even the Everton keeper. There are other better goalkeepers in the Premier League, really. Sorry?
I would start fuming if I hear that it's true.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't happen. Plus, we still have the Argentine international goalkeeper in the World Cup, really. So there are other goalkeepers we can look at and go for. I trust one. Again, until the player holds the shirt, till the club. Again, I used to say till the player holds the shirt, and Ty changed it to till we get an official announcement from the club, really. If that makes any sort of sense. So we'll move on from this one. And this one here, again, according to Abola, again, Chelsea is now seeking to pay less and include a player. Benfica maintains their stance from demanding the 120 million euros release clause. Jorge Mendes is intermediating talks between Rui Costa and the Blues. Chelsea has a total agreement with Enzo Fernandez. Fernandez himself isn't the issue. And like Ty, I think Ty alluded to that a bit. Him saying that he wants to join Chelsea, he wants to leave. I think that makes it the whole thing a lot easier. And like Ty said, that may have been the reason why Chelsea went again after everything went to the negotiation table with a lot less than they had agreed to.
But it's still stupidness, though. It's
again,
to do that.
And shamelessness, really. And again, and if you were on the Benfica side, when you feel insulted, Ty?
I would, because if you're gonna say that, okay, we'll give you over 100 million, and then you say, you know what, I changed my mind. Your player wants to come to my club. He wants to join my team, so I'm gonna give you less, and you have to take it because your player wants to come here, so you have to accept 40 million less.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. If you're a mod and you're in the chat, please keep reminding people again to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Those things do go a long way, especially the likes. Again, if you don't feel like subscribing, you watching provides again good value, even if you're not participating in the chat. But if you're a mod, always remind people to do that. Yes, Ty, great point right there. Trust again. Yeah, I've read that one. Chelsea must grow stronger again. We have to again pay attention to the sort of players we sign, balance it out. It doesn't have to be all again. We need to mix it up, physicality, flair, and all that. Just like again in the good old days I don't want to see Sterling in our lineup again. Sorry about that. You better go get you some tissues because he's starting. If anything, I see Graham Potter dropping Christian Pulisic to the bench. Chelsea board really need to act fast in this general transfer window. I think they're doing, again, well enough. Even Jose Mourinho, lowest of form, I don't think he could bring us in a bad position like this. Well, you could argue that Chelsea, as a team, we have identity, but again, it's not going to be easy to deviate from this identity. That is why we need our former players in our board. In order to put them through. We had one and they let him go. Because if anything, Petr Cech was fired really, because if they wanted him to stay, he could have stayed. But we move on from that. Ishwara, Varna says again, Enzo or Caicedo, again, McAllister. For me, Enzo still, since we're looking to get in a defensive-minded midfielder. Would you say that person is Caicedo? Is Caicedo really defensively minded? Is he good defensively, Kai?
He is. He's good winning the ball.
He has a touch of being good there. I still think that he's more of that I don't want to say he's a box to box, but he can win the ball, but he's a box to box mostly, and he's known for making passes and trying to link up some attacking play. That's what he's about. So you'd still need a defensive midfielder who can win the ball back.
So yeah, Caicedo isn't again traditionally a defensive midfielder. So if you're gonna have him in the team, if you're asking him to remain disciplined, you're practically changing the way he plays, which doesn't make any sort of sense. Yeah.
No, so but Graham Potter used him as defensive midfielder, and he even made an interview.
I don't think he was. He played like a. Go ahead. Who was talking?
So it's me, Rodrigo.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Potter never used one single six. He always used double six. He used McAllister and Caicedo, and Mwepu, the other guy that retired, and he used both of them. They can both do the same job. Like one person is up, the other person hold, and yeah. But Caicedo is more like he's more like it's more like Kante. If you think about it, it's more like he wins you the ball, he will run around. But to ask him, like Coach, what you said, to ask him, oh no, you need to stay in front of the back four and intercept the ball from there. I think that's restricting his abilities.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Please, if we're not talking, can we avoid the? Yeah, thank you. And you can mute when you're not talking, because the background noise can be very irritating, really. So again, Ishwara is asking, I feel again 120 million can sign both Caicedo and McAllister plus some pocket money. That's
no way.
The truth. But again, even if we can, I think it can. It will come close. But here's where the problem lies. The two players play for Brighton, don't they? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's not going to happen, really. They're not shopping more for players, and I think we've talked about that before. And plus, McAllister did say recently that he's happy at Brighton. He said that again, so which means he's not in a hurry to leave. I don't think McAllister will come to Chelsea, but your argument makes sense. We can go opt for for cheaper options and get the players. But for a reason, the club wants Enzo, and I don't really know why. But all I know is that he's a good player, and I don't know why we're willing to pay that much money. We're talking about guys. Yeah, go ahead.
Coach, it's not about the quantity. I hear this argument, people saying 120 can get you two players. It's not about that. It's not about getting more. With that argument, you could say we have enough midfielders in the team because of the numbers. So you can't just say with 120 we can go out there buy two. No. You need to get, assuming they've identified Enzo Fernandez as the guy for the profile that they're after, then you need to get him, or you need to get a player that has the same profile. You can't be going around and getting two players for the price of one just because you can. No, you know what I mean? No, you need to get the pro. I think it's more like the profile. And
the profile of the player overall is what they're looking at. Yeah.
But Enzo himself, like, he's not 120 million player.
But you want him now.
Yeah, we want him now. That is why the price. That is why the price is 120. But on a normal level, he's not 120 million player. It's because of the release clause that you want him now. If it was to be like, before the World Cup or in the summer, he wouldn't be 120 million. Assuming we didn't play a World Cup, he wouldn't even be like, I think he'd be like 50 million.
Yeah. And you know what I heard? What I heard the most is the same summer we spent £20 million on Chukwuemeka. Don't get me wrong, he's a brilliant player. It's the same summer Benfica spent £10 million on this guy. It's like we were not even looking at him. I don't think we were ever linked to this guy. So maybe we should have. That's the thing now. The staff need to do the jobs now. I mean, they earn the big money. Because we could have spent that money on him if we wanted him in a.
Are you sure? No. Are you sure that wasn't what Borley found out and came back home and fired the European scouts?
That's probably why. That's probably. Listen, coach, I will fire them. I will fire them twice.
And was like, wait, what were you guys doing? Yeah, but that's, by the way, let me catch up with what we have in the chat. I'll come back. I think Chelsea want to sign more than one player. And if we agree to Benfica terms, then that all our eggs are all in one basket. So if Benfica don't meet us halfway, I think we're walking away. It's probably I don't think we'll get bent over for them. Again, the current owners and that sort of people that you can mess around with. They'll move on quickly. My regards to all Chelsea fans. Let's hope till next season. I believe this season is off. Let's hope for Europa League. I don't want to. If we are delicate again, my Niger brother, listen. If we're not going to make it to top four, I don't want any European engagement. I want us to be free of European football come next season. Face the league again, make it into top four, and if possible, win the league. But good luck to us. We cannot see Chelsea winning City, win our current problem. I just want to see again a fight. I want to see the team fight. I want to see them play like they're playing for Chelsea Football Club. Then at the end of the day, you say, we did well. Like the last time we lost against City in the cup game, but it felt like a win to me because what I saw. Hall got a chance and was the best player on the day for me. Plus, the team overall played well. We weren't just clinical. We cannot see Chelsea winning. Yep, I see that before. Mykhailo is the primary version of Enzo. So yeah, we have the secondary version, and I'll keep that if that makes sense. Primark you meant? Okay.
Yeah, Primark. Yeah, it's a cheap store.
Yeah, I am done with Brighton now. Even if they have Leao, I don't care. We've taken enough, and it wouldn't make any sort of sense. You would ruin the relationship you have with them, really.
No,
I watched except if it comes to the case that they would lose a player on a free, and we'll say, okay, we're not going to let you lose this particular player on a free. Let's buy him from you this window. Go ahead, Ty. You wanted to say something?
We have not taken enough from them. We need to take everything they have. maybe then Potter will do better.
Yeah, maybe we'll start playing like. Yeah, I think that makes sense. That'd be nice. I know you want to go to heaven, really. If the Nightbot deletes your message if you use more than 3 emojis, and it's a machine, it's not a human being. So you've got to be very careful how you use the emojis there. I watched Jorginho in the last match. He hit throughout the match without touching the ball, and he was on the field throughout. Did he play 90 minutes? He didn't play 90 minutes.
No, he
and
didn't.
Here's the thing: I really do blame Potter for how badly he played on the day.
Yes, same.
I understand Jorginho has his deficiencies. Why again? And Potter, after making the statement that the pairing of Jorginho and what's his name, the Swiss international Zakaria, is good. And you played again. You employed again on the day. You employed Zakaria differently. He ventured forward more. Jorginho does well when he's paired with somebody, and that person always provides an extra outlet, pass or maybe passing lane. That's why he has a perfect playing relationship with Kovacic, because Kovacic understands that very well. Whenever Jorginho is on the ball, he provides an extra outlet for him. But Zakaria didn't do that. Rather, he was playing like he was the number 10 on the day. He was literally everywhere, and I was fearing he's going to get tired quickly. As much as he was enjoyable to watch the way he played and how well he played, I think it was a mistake to deploy him in that way. That was why Jorginho suffered. We should recognize he needs, again, what's the term somebody used for it? He needs a guard whenever he's on the pitch, really. I don't know how else to phrase it. Just quickly, let me see. A big up again. Just had the best sleep. Woke up to this Enzo deal being off. I think the latest actually is that it's still on, despite the rumors that it's off. So calm down. That's Kunda Delight, Rafinha, and Enzo. Talk about Marina or you want Bali, but botched it. For again, you could say that, but I don't want to go to that right now. The truth remains the Enzo deal is still on, given the latest rumors we're hearing.
The problem with this is that the amount of noise is creating and the reputation of Chelsea being this club that can't it's box to job and stuff. I think strategy of being too open from Bowley need to change. Like I don't know, they're briefing a lot of people in the because people have too much information on Chelsea. I think they need to be more secret about the deals that they're working on. Because come on,
how about from the perspective of the selling club?
Yeah, this is exactly what I want to say. I don't think it's from the.
Rodrigo, did you get the question? Are you there, Rodrigo?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
How about from the perspective of the selling club? Because they can especially the selling club, they can be the one to say, pay again to pay journalists to start talking about a certain thing to help them get more money from the buying club.
I never.
Go ahead with what you were saying.
I never remember Chelsea losing out. Maybe it's recency bias, right? I don't remember Chelsea losing out or being linked to 4 or 5 high profile players, and then the interest being confirmed.
Yeah, please. The feedback is really bad. If you're not talking, can you mute? It's really Thank you. Go ahead, Rodrigo.
I'm just gonna finish on this. I don't remember a time where Chelsea were linked to these high profile players, and then all of them the deal collapsing or the players something going wrong, and all that being known in the media. I don't remember that. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's recency bias. Maybe this happened in the past. So that's the reason why I feel like it's like something is not going right. It's like we talking too much to the press, or like you said, is that maybe that's a new strategy with selling clubs. They talk too much to the press, revealing a lot of information to the press.
Yeah, there's a chance that's the case. They may well be the ones trying to get more money from the business. But go ahead.
Because look at the Mudryk. I don't know if you're gonna touch on that today. This guy from
we will. We have that lined up because it's hitting up really.
Yeah, even that. I would love if we were moving for him. I would love that information to remain secret for now because now. Maybe I'm talking from a selfish point as a fan, and I don't like seeing my club being bantered by rival fans. So maybe that's me. I hate seeing that. So I know if we don't get him and Arsenal still end up getting it, I just hate the reaction from Arsenal fans. Maybe that's just a selfish thing, you know.
Yeah, I get it. I'd really like us to get him, and then we'll talk about it. That was again. Then if they get him, they can laugh all. They can't take Chelsea Football Club from us. They can't take all the trophies we won from us. If they end up signing him, even though we're interested in him, that's how I see it. Really, I think Chelsea should have Enzo. Should leave Enzo. Go get a cheap player than pay that amount. I don't think the club are reasoning like that. Too, for some reason, they want Enzo, and we can't change that. We can argue all we want about the price tag. It doesn't change anything. Let me see again something else again. Bernard Mamba Comedy. I think Brighton should change their name to Chelsea because every player is linked with Chelsea, and we should change our name to Brighton, given how much we've taken from them. Really, the staff, everything, the player question. Let me see. Yeah, go ahead.
If we end up getting, I don't want to hear next. Must be this one coming up. Is Zinedine Zidane, Sir Bobby Charlton? He must be everything, because we cannot be. That would be embarrassing.
Yeah, it will be, but it won't kill me really. Again, I will survive it. For being honest, we should sell Jorginho. Some players to pave the way for the young guys. Okay, if you think so, I don't think the club will sell all the older players. I think Jorginho, it's looking likely he will leave the club, but let's see what happens. And honestly, I don't mind paying the release clause, but will it affect FFP and our future targets? that's why, again, you could argue FFP again is the reason why the club is trying to agree on a structure that wouldn't again have us pay a certain amount of money that will lead us into again infringing the FFP rules. So that's the reason
I
why
think
the whole drag really.
The issue is also Benfica have to pay River Plate something like 30 million euros. So even if you pay an installment, so that makes the initial installment very small. Like I was thinking about logically. So if they have to pay 30 million pounds, they need to agree a payment structure with River Plate as well. But River Plate might say we want all our money now, so Benfica has to get a larger sum of money up front. So maybe that's where the issue is. It could be that.
Yeah, just quickly because of this again contribution from this person in the chat. I say, does Chelsea really need a Modric? Rodrigo, let me have you start on that one.
Does Chelsea really need Mudryk? There's stuff, but I think we need the right back more than Modric. But if this opportunity is there to get him, it's better than what we have. Let's be honest.
It's as simple as that. His output, we will look at his numbers in a bit. I think since Pedro and William, we haven't had what you could say world-class wingers, really.
Yeah, a direct, someone that can take the ball. He's not a dribble past his man, and then he's gonna either deliver or take a shot. We literally don't have someone that. Well, we have Pulisic, but he's not as dynamic as Modric.
To me, Pulisic is more like better off a 10, really. Than a winger, if we're being honest. And that's a stat I looked at one time. He played more probably for the U.S. national team as a 10 than he's played on the flanks, really. Let's see. Again, anything here? Coach Chelsea and reporters annoyed the fans. They made it seem Enzo was sure. It's not over yet, according to was it Simon Phillips? It's not over yet, so be patient. We should offer 18 million to get Modric today. Here we go. Here's one player I really do want us to get, and I want him over Leao. Honestly, again, that's who I am. But that's, by the way, Modric will be a good addition, but we have to let go of Pulisic or Ziyech or Cho or all three. We need to make way first. That's the truth. But he's better than what we have. And again, something I argued before, if Arsenal succeed in signing him, he may well help them win the league. And now you will see why when we talk about that. But just quickly, let me bring Bobby into the conversation before we switch to the next topic. I have a few things lined up too that I just found as I was looking at the update screen. Bobby, your thoughts on the Enzo, you could say drama, or maybe not again really from the Twitter drama. Let's just put it down with Twitter journalists and some other certified journalists. The drama, your thoughts on all of those things that's happened. And today again, we're hearing that the deal is actually still on. But your thoughts?
Coach, I'm so angry. I'm angry at the Twitter broadcasters, if I may call them that, that are trying to disparage my club, and the fans that are joining them to disparage my club. How dare you? How dare you? People coming and insulting this club, making up lies. For what? Look.
You okay, Bobby? Okay, let me continue reading. I think he's taking a break to cough. Yeah.
No, I'm back on.
Okay, go ahead. I was asking if you were okay. Go ahead.
Chelsea clearly showed an interest in this guy. They went into negotiations and they made their bid based on their valuation. Their valuation is not what Benfica wanted. They wanted the release clause. Simple. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden everybody has to start heaping insults on this club. Talking about, if so-and-so had 130 million, they'll buy this, they'll buy that. How dare you? How many of these goddamn rubbish clubs have brought as many players through their academy as Chelsea? How dare you? How many of these rubbish clubs have bought the kind of youngsters that Chelsea have bought and made the investments? This is ridiculous. We should go all out against this garbage from the fan base, garbage from people like what's his name, DiMarzio, and all these people just trying to make and disparage the club for showing interest in a player. Maybe they didn't do it right. I don't know. Maybe they should have paid the release clause. I don't know. But the fact is, you can't force either party to do anything. These people wanted, or at the moment, want 120 or is it 127 million euros. Chelsea offered 85, and they went to negotiate. Benfica said they won't negotiate. What else is there to say? Why all the insults to the club? People coming up on every and nearly any platform to try and disparage the club. Then this Modric situation, they're trying to rope Chelsea into that garbage. I am furious. I'm so angry. So angry. There was a platform I was on the other day. I spoke for a while, listened, so much garbage coming out of one fan. I just left. I just left. What is this? If we have so many unintelligent people, and I don't want to be to be abusive, if there's so many unintelligent people in the fan base, then maybe, maybe we should all, some of us should just stop, engaging. It's so annoying. It's so annoying.
But you cannot tell people to agree with your opinion. You have to respect others' opinion.
Yeah.
Even,
That's the usual hymn sheet, isn't it? Yeah.
It's based in.
Hold on. Let him drop. Hakeem, you will come in. Let him
give
drop.
my opinion about those opinions, and a lot of those opinions is utter garbage, unintelligent, uninformed nonsense. That's my opinion. Can continue with that. That's fine. But we've listened to this garbage for so long. Tired of it. No wonder Johnny can go and do a stream and speak for 2 hours about the brown envelopes and the garbage around the fan base. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. But I tell you what, I don't spew this garbage trying to disparage the club as so many fans spend so much time on.
All right, Hakeem, what were you saying?
Yeah, what I'm saying is I agree with most of the things that he says, but I think, sometimes people get frustrated and it comes out of emotion. Like, I'm talking about the other fans. And people also say, people want the better of the club. And where the club is at now, how the club is losing. I don't remember the last time where if you are reading the comments, like a lot of people don't even, like, I don't remember the last time that Chelsea goes to a match and then people don't have faith that we are going to lose, regardless of how we are performing. We always have a certain of hope. But I can tell you, like, almost 80% of Chelsea fans, whenever Chelsea is going to play, people don't have the confidence that they are going to win the match. So, like, there's a lot of things going on in people's heads. So people will be saying, like, a whole lot of things. You as a Chelsea fan and you as a football fan, like, you have to understand this part of the situation. You have to understand that there is emotion rising. People will be saying a whole lot of things because people are angry with the money that the team is spending and the whole lot of things that is going on. People are not in the happy mood. So
Yeah.
you also have to control yourself. They might say things that you don't like. They might say, just give your opinion and then But I don't think you should let it get to you to get angry to some extent.
Yeah, but
And
go ahead,
Hakeem.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Rodrigo,
Yeah, I'm done
wants to
listening.
say something.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, what I wanted to say, I think from what I understand what Bobby is complaining about, I think he's mostly complaining about these people, let's take this Twitter broadcaster or journalist that create rumors.
He's really furious about that. Yeah.
That confirm the rumor to drive up maybe subscription, maybe.
Yeah, brother, this is how they make money.
Yeah.
So again, Rodrigo, go ahead. Let's talk one by one. Go ahead, Rodrigo.
Yeah. So what that create then? You have fans that get too excited and think we are getting this player, that player, and then and then what happened is when the truth is the club has the on valuation and so on. you have these fans or these people that come up and then laughing at Chelsea, berating the club. I think that's where Bobby's frustration is. What I would say to Bobby though is, don't lose faith. You need, because you are a voice of reason. So whenever you hear this type of things, I think you just have to voice it. You have to just to educate them, because you just have to.
Here's how I see it.
Yeah.
You can't change anybody.
Yeah.
We're all fans. We're all family as Chelsea supporters. But the only thing we have to give each other is our opinions. So once they drop that opinion, if you don't just again,
and then you have to call out.
Very rubbish, which you sometimes make you question how that person reasoned. But just it's their opinion. It doesn't move me really. But go ahead.
No, but you still have to call out. I think the big issue.
Go ahead, Rodrigo.
I think the big issue is the journalist or the Twitter broadcaster. What I think you have to call them out. So if you know a deal is not confirmed, don't come on your platform saying we are 100% sure Chelsea are signing Enzo. 100% sure Chelsea are signing.
Just Chelsea moving on to Modric next. All this garbage.
But here's the thing we're gonna say. This is the world where we're in, and I think IBC was here. Let's just deal with that one quickly. I don't want the chat to get too long, guys, so that I have to. But let's just deal with that quickly. IBC was saying, we talked about it. It's up to you, the consumer, to be sensible. That's why the few days ago we've been talking about it, and what we've come to we all agreed that they're all actually practically saying the same thing. They're recycling the same information with a little bit of tweaking, and that tweaking is where the issue lies. They tweak it a bit. The next person that gets it with the tweaking, with the added information, and interprets it with the added information, and could lead to saying it's done. But that's why sometimes, again, we've always advised you here. Pull all those things together, dump them into a single bucket, tag them speculation or rumors. Put 2 and 2 together, you come to a sensible conclusion. Because if you start paying attention to them, again, they can ask you, go do one bad stuff, you go do it because you believe in them that much. So it's about you using your senses. Again, I saw somebody say it was done. The Felix, Johnson said it was done. I had to make a short video and I said according to. And we will continue to seek further confirmation. It's as simple as that, knowing that there's a chance it's wrong. I asked a few people saying, do you trust this guy? Some say they do, some say they don't. Then I said, okay, I have to say clearly, this is who said it. And again, I'll be seeking further confirmation. And I did seek for further confirmation. None came. All I was seeing close to being done, final details and all that. So it doesn't move me. If you're stupid, that's up to you.
It annoys me when I hear people saying things that disparage, humiliate, and put down my club. You know,
But will it really, Bobby? Will it put down the club? You can't. Chelsea is Chelsea. They can't do that. If you get my point, it's more like pouring water on a rock. It doesn't spoil it really. I'm with Chelsea. Again, here's the thing. There's a Nigerian artist who is that Two-Face that says, if nobody talks about you, then you're nobody. If you can get my point. It will always happen. That's what we're Chelsea Football Club. And part of being Chelsea Football Club is people talking about you, is people picking the slightest of issues from your club, like training ground issues or the slightest of information that comes out that Chelsea is looking at one particular player. That's part of being a big club, is that they take it and they run with it. So, Bobby, if you were going to say something else, go ahead. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, that's you know, I've let off my steam. It just annoys me, you know. I
understand.
I have so much love and goodwill for this club. I get frustrated as well, but when people then start inventing things that make the club look bad, you know, like, oh, the club never so much as once went to pay the release clause. They wanted to negotiate the release clause. And, you know, all this stuff like Modric, I just don't want to see it. That's all. You know, we're in enough trouble as it is. We're 10th in the league, which is not a good place for this club to be. We have a very difficult game against Man City. Our manager is suspect, and if he really wants to start to prove himself, this is the game to do it. Because I personally really believe Man City can be beaten, but it all depends on our application. So there's a lot riding on today, and we shouldn't, as a fan base, allow any of these fools to try and make the club be belittled by any of the things we're trying to do. We're trying to make inroads in this environment. This is only the second transfer window of this new ownership, and they're doing their best. They're moving quickly. You know, it frustrates me some of the things they're doing, but they are moving quickly. And for us to allow certain quarters to come and start pouring water on everything that we do is what infuriates me, really. But I'm good.
But
man.
believe me, I know you too well, so I understand how angry you are. But just don't mind them. It will never stop, no matter what is done. There's no some sort of policing to say you can't say things that you're not sure it's true. Again, I don't know if that makes any sort of sense. But that's, by the way, Lee says we really need to sort out the midfield before a right back. Our midfield just gets bullied too much. Again, our midfield has been the problem for the last 3 seasons. Yeah.
Coach, there's news just breaking about Badiashile. They said all documents has been signed and everything.
Okay.
Officially statements, next step.
Okay. Thank you.
I just want to bring this up.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Just quickly, again, let me catch up with what we have in the chat because it becomes too much. Oh dear, I nearly forgot we played City. We're playing City tonight. I think you're probably better off forgotten. I've heard somebody say I didn't sign up for the City game, but I'll watch it anyway. Again, I think we have a watch. I've scheduled a watch along already. Chelsea needs Modric and Felix by hook or crook. Wow, justice. Well, gas and what a way to phrase it. Leao probably will not happen. So Modric is more again. Maybe that's why Chelsea are up on their interest in Modric, if that's the truth. But we don't know. Watching from South Africa, Go Blues. Yes, thank you so much, my brother from the Madiba land, Senako Jola. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. James Felix, brother, I hope you're doing well. It has become clear now that all the signings that Chelsea has, again, made in the pipeline are going to fail. Really? What if, again, if Modric insists he wants Arsenal? Again, here's the thing. I think I did a little bit of digging, and I found out he was interviewed by Zinchenko's wife, who works that works for a media outlet in Ukraine, and was asked again if he's looking forward to play alongside any player at Arsenal, and he said Zinchenko. Again, I need a video where he's saying he wants to come play for Arsenal. He loves Arsenal. To me, even if he said that, it doesn't mean anything. After all, Jonathan Klaus, was it Klaus, the French international, who, again, we saw a video of him saying he wants to play for Chelsea. He ends up, again, not even considering joining us, really, and joined another club. But that's, by the way, and something else Modric talked about was, again, if I had to choose, pay attention to this, if he had to choose between joining Real Madrid and sitting on the bench, he will most definitely choose Arsenal. So now Arsenal fans will take that and run with it. And that Arsenal also, we looked at something yesterday that doesn't guarantee he gets to start because there are other players at the club that are doing well. You could argue are the reason why Arsenal, again, are where they are today on the table. But that's why please be careful what you're saying. Again, Man City has Haaland. If we want to win, bench Cucurella, Aspi, and Sterling to, again, then start the younger players. I wouldn't mind the younger players playing, but I think Cucurella start. You don't bench a player who was basically one of the best players on the pitch during the last game. Amina Johnny is going to have a field day. Let's have it right. I think he already streamed yesterday's evening about that, the whole nonsense that's going on. Chief Udo, Igwe Udo, nice to see you here. I hope you're doing well. Chelsea have to change their manager. Chelsea is too big for the manager. Like somebody said, like Brother Bob here said, he's suspect. I have my reservations, but there's a first for everything. There's a chance he learns from his mistakes and start doing better. But his selection today, I don't think he could have done. I don't think he could have done otherwise in the last game. But his selection today, he needs to give the youth a chance. If this is really a long-term project, Let's give them a chance. They're good enough. Ashanti says Chelsea really need to sell some players. Some players, that sounds like a Ghanaian brother spelling it the way it's pronounced. Some players, and give a Potter time to build again the team like Pep. Okay, let's see if they do that. And Yibo, it's been a minute. I hope you're doing well. Only problem with the Chelsea Academy argument is more successful players have left Chelsea than actual than actual play week in week out for the Blues. And again, that will never happen. We can't keep them all. As much as again we hope to see a lot of them again make it into the first team, we simply cannot keep them all. And I know we all understand that. And some of them know that. That's why they take their time, run down their contract, and then seek for a path to the first team. And when that don't happen, they always seek to leave the club. And in most cases, if you force them to stay, they'd run down their contract and leave on a free. So in most cases, we're left with no option than to sell them and make some money out of them. But that's by the way, Newton, basically you guys, Modric will not deliver to his best to us. Cause what? Because he's interested in joining Arsenal. And again, that argument doesn't. Again, I don't buy that. We cannot pay the release clause without selling or without letting some players leave. It's dangerous, really. We changed the term after agreement fell. Yep. Which top A-list manager will respect this Chelsea manager? Chifudo, I'm not sure really. Again, there are no. Again, you can say in the available now. You can say again. You can say managers with good pedigree out there right now is Zidane, and I don't trust Zidane doing well in the Premier League. Pochettino, he's suspect really tactically. Really, I think. He's not flexible tactically as well as he did at Spurs. There are other names. Luis Enrique, to me, maybe would do well in the Champions League, but in the Premier League, I think will struggle, really. So I don't want him. In the case of Zidane, he rode on the back of the proper players he had then. Excellent squad. Again, like I said, even my dad or grandpa will win Champions League with that squad, really. Just sit down and say, go and play, really. Bobby, I agree with your comments, and this is Ty Talks, the link to Ty Talks YouTube channel. Please go check it out. Make sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you a lot of stuff. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom, and Chelsea says again, he says, Coach, unfortunately, Johnny has been right calling out these brown envelopes. Again, he will just get bigger. Again, for Johnny, that's his brand, really. Calling out the brown envelopes or anybody, not just brown envelopes. Again, in terms of not just a Twitter journalist, he also calls out content creators who he believes is full of it. But I enjoy watching it. It's all good. That's what defines his brand. CFC remain hopeful for a deal, that a deal will be struck for Enzo Fernandez. Benfica President Drew Costa is standing firm. Chelsea plan to continue talks as they believe they can and will strike a deal. And it makes sense that Benfica will eventually, you could say, agree to a deal, because if it comes summer, he will be much more cheaper. Okay, thank you for that update there, Ty. So, Bobby, again, you're right about what you say. God will bless you for saying the truth. I know Bobby believes in God and probably would love that one there in the chat. How can the owners spend this amount of money buying all these good players and have a local manager? Does it matter if it's a local manager? That's the first for everything. Whereas I understand the argument, I don't think you should be saying it like that. Cyber Advanced TC says we're really on a bad form this season, and I hope he will change it. I hope so. I think we have a good enough squad to be doing better. That's all I have to say about that. Nothing more than that, really. Fabrizio also contradicted himself multiple times regarding Enzo, which is why I don't believe him when they say again that Bally pledged to spend above whatever Arsenal offers for the Chernobyl Leao. Okay, I understand what you're saying there. He hasn't it's not correct all the time. I don't know how else to say that. Let's see what we have. Again, the more people talk about Chelsea, the more I fall in love with the club. Yep. Like I said, Two-Faced Divya said it. If nobody talks about you, then you're nobody. Because we're Chelsea Football Club, people will always talk about us. When it's transfer window, we will be again one of the most talked about clubs. Again, we're even talked about more than maybe than Liverpool is. Maybe because I'm not following Liverpool accounts, maybe I don't know. But every time you must hear Chelsea name on TV and everywhere, some fans are just spoiled from Papa Roman era. I think that's very correct. Impatient again and wants the club to spend the whole money. Talking of at least Zidane is there, and the players will respect him. They will respect him, but tactically, to me, I don't think he's there. I don't think he'd be able to do anything special with us, really, especially in the Premier League. Hello, Chairman One. Thank you so much for finding the time to join in the show. I appreciate that. Okay, now here's something else I want to say quickly, and I'll come back to the panelists. We have 162 likes on the poll and just 77 likes. If that makes sense to you, okay, fine. But if it doesn't make sense to you and you've participated in the poll, please take a second to drop a like on the stream. It helps us go a long way. Please do that. It doesn't make any sort of sense, really. Chelsea manager Porter is not a list manager. Okay, everything starts as a beginning for everything. Yeah, Akuchila, my brother, is Team Chelsea today. Really? Because they won. It makes sense. He wants Man City to drop points so that because it makes sense. Yeah, that's funny again. What again? I can see again. You and your brother argue about each of the clubs that you support. I'm just praying. What's your saying? I'm just praying that our boys turn up today. I think we will turn up today. Plus, a lot of space for us to operate. They're not going to defend deep, so we'll play well by default. Really, to be happy today as Chelsea fans. Every pass we make shall come actually to our players and the ability to read the game. I hope so too. Again, I'm going to move on to the panelists. I don't know. Again, I'll scroll past quite a lot of stuff. I enjoy doing this, but if I continue doing just that'd be all we'll do for the day until we come to the end of the show. Just quickly, Benoit Badiashile and Andre Santos will be Chelsea players. Both are in London, but official announcement depends on visa, work permit, club decisions, etc. So I cannot say when precisely these deals will be confirmed. Here's the thing: we already know we signed them. My concern has always been them getting work permit. But if they get work permit, I think we should keep them both. Benoit Badiashile should, I think. Santos should. I'm a bit concerned. I don't know if I'm correct. I don't know how many games, what's his name, Datro Fofana has played for Ivory Coast International. I don't know the percentage. Anybody on the panel that's well acquainted to how many games you have to play for your national team for you to qualify for a work permit in the UK as a footballer? In some cases, again, they say that they make exceptions for exceptional talent. If you know the rule, you can go ahead please and educate us.
Now they've changed it. Before you have to play some amount of games, but now they've changed it. Datro Fofana already has a working permit with Chelsea.
Fofana already has. So the issue now is Badiashile. So you're not sure what they changed it to?
Yeah, I'm not sure what they changed it to, but before it used to be difficult, but now they've done a lot of changes. And I think also because of the Brexit and a lot of things they did like
the Brexit thing again affects lots of the European aspect of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
this is what I'm saying.
For Africa, then I think that you have to play certain amount of more games for your senior national team, to be specific.
Go
ahead.
When they were putting the laws and everything about the Brexit, they have to make some international changes so that they could explore the international market because they are going out of the European markets for I don't know all the details. So it's all in one package. They made a lot of changes, not only for Europe, like internationally and other stuff.
Bobby, are you acquainted with the rules for work permit?
Yeah, I mean the guy talking just before me, I don't know, is that Rodrigo?
Hakeem.
Sorry?
Hakeem.
Hakeem. Yeah, I mean he's not far wrong. I don't know that much about immigration and things, but I do know that he's right. Following Brexit, it is easier for sort of non-Europeans to come to the UK and work. So I think Datro Fofana is already a full Ivorian international, is he not, despite his age?
I don't
So
Yeah.
remember. Yeah, but go ahead.
the only one that I've heard could have a little bit of a delay with his work permit is Andres Santos, but they're working on it. You know, these things take a little time, and it will happen because it's a legitimate job. You know, they're not just coming here to
As
try and live off
illegals
the
or so.
system. Yeah.
But Bobby, since I'm with you, do you think we'll keep them more? Because we're hearing some rumors that there's a chance they all go out on loan. But to me, I was thinking maybe if that will happen only if they don't get work permit. But I don't think it makes any sort of sense to spend that much money on Badashil. Badashil, I think will most definitely get work permit. But in the case of Santos, we need them, don't you think?
Well, you know, as I said, you know, I haven't. It's not like you know, since before COVID, the amount of times I spent in and around Cobham has really gone down. In fact, I think I've only been to Cobham once since COVID. So I don't really know for sure the insides of what their intentions are with these young players. But what I do know is that, look, they've got to do something different. And the whole squad needs a revamping. And for all intents and purposes, they are beginning to revamp the squad with these youngsters. And these are the guys that are going to be around fully for pre-season and be able to be trained by the new coach adequately. So I don't see Fofana going anywhere. How many attackers do we actually have?
Plus, Broya being out.
I don't see that at all. I know Chukwemeka is definitely part of the first team now, but I have a strong suspicion that Andrea Santos is going to come into the midfield. Now, you know, people were talking about, oh, you know, Chelsea, why can't Chelsea find an Enzo Fernandez and yada, yada, yada? Well, who knows if Chelsea have got an Enzo Fernandez already in Andrea Santos? You know, there's a lot of changes coming in this summer. Nkunku is going to come and start with the first team
in June.
Yeah, Slonina, I think, is already in training. So I don't see these purchases all going out on loan. That was the old way of doing things. The new Chelsea is different and has to be different. So I can't speak authoritatively, but I can say that I have expectation that these guys are going to be part of the first team squad, if not towards the end of this season, certainly the beginning of next season.
Yeah, maybe that's why I always like to have you on the panel. Your understanding of some of the things we outsiders don't know. Again, I appreciate that so much, brother. Thank you so much again. Glenn says preparing.
I'm
Yeah, go
very
ahead.
passionate. You know,
I know.
Chelsea.
Bobby, you think I don't know?
My
You
wife.
know, it's been like 3 years now that I know you, so I know you quite well. Yeah.
You know, my wife doesn't even understand the level of passion I have for this club. You know, she accepts it because it's who she married, but she looks at me sometimes like she's just walked past now, like, oh gosh, this guy's talking to these people again. You know, I love this club. I've loved this club since I was 4 years old. It hurts me. I've been through all the bad times. I don't want to go back there. You know, we have some people talk about, oh, we've seen this, we've seen that. We can see it again. No, I don't want to see it again. I want Chelsea to go onwards and upwards.
It's not good.
No,
I nearly died, really.
You know, they get nostalgic over a time when we were crying. We were crying in those days. It wasn't funny at all. So, you know, it hurts. It hurts, all these things coming at the club when we're trying to settle ourselves. We're trying to get our feet back, and we're in a tumultuous situation. It's like we've been in this situation ever since the second sanctions, certainly on Roman. And we've got these new owners. They're trying to settle in, trying to act, you know, 7, 8, 9 steps ahead of where they actually are. And sometimes, as frustrating as it is, we need to protect them. We need to support them. We need to protect the club. We need to be biased for the club, because out there nobody's biased for us. They want to do us down, and that's where I get a bit upset. And
that's the truth. Again, I know you've calmed down a bit, and I'm happy about that. Glenn says preparing for Haaland is like a prepping up for doomsday. you best just get in your basement already and let it do its thing. Just let it happen. What the thing that scares me again about Haaland is the supplies, because stopping Haaland means you have to stop the supplies. But stopping the supplies isn't easy, because the supplies doesn't just come from one man. It is Kevin De Bruyne, it is Bernardo Silva, it is Riyad Mahrez, it is also Phil Foden, even from the defenders too. And once the supply gets to him, you can say 10 out of 10 times he puts it away 12 times. If that makes any sort of sense to you, that's where I'm concerned about him. It says again, why get a win now? Manage with a rebuilding roster. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. I get it. Potter is a transitional manager here to lay a foundation. So yeah, why not give the young players a chance? That has always been my argument. We don't need a big name manager to compound the issue we have, and they might have been the reason why. Again, they don't see Tuchel as a long-term manager. Probably they see him as a manager. If tomorrow an offer comes for a club like Real Madrid, he would jump onto it. But that's by the way. We'll move on to that foundation. We haven't started making cement yet. I am concerned if Potter, if Potter wants Modric, it depends on his relationship with Pulisic, Ziyech, etc. Also Nkunku incoming in the summer. I wonder if Chelsea will be getting rid of any players. Fact is, if there's a amount of money we spend, would have to sell and start selling immediately this January. Plus, there's how many players will sign, would have to make way to accommodate them. It doesn't make any sort of sense to have a bloated squad, and again, bloated salary against structure overall. It's a risk. So again, I get you guys. Yeah. So for some players to be accommodated, some have to go. Even for some of the young players who sign in, like not Datro Fofana really, because Broya is out injured. But for for Santos to be accommodated, we have to make way too. I think so. People want microwave results. A cost of Papa Roman. Yes, I've read that before. I see Roman arrive again. My expectations grew with the club. Number one owner in the world. Nobody will rival him, and that's because he wasn't in need of a profit. He was in need again. He wants to see Chelsea succeed. He was a fan before he was an owner. If that makes sense, he wants again the club to win stuff. That could care less how much he spent to make that happen. All the Chelsea better managers did not do the project. We were on top 25. Okay, you see, people forgot that Arteta did what he did at Arsenal or what Potter did at Brighton.
What did he do?
Yeah, there are two things really. He just made sure Brighton did well. How many seasons? I don't know where they finished. That's two different. There's a huge difference between Brighton and Chelsea, really.
On paper, didn't really do that well at Brighton, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead, Rodrigo, if you're still talking.
I don't think he did that well at Brighton. He had a 31% win rate, lower than Chris Hughton, who was there before him. And if you actually think of managers that have done really well with smaller teams, I'll say Nuno Espirito Santo.
The Portuguese.
He took Wolves from the Championship all the way to European places. Actually, if you remember, Brighton fans were not happy with Potter at one point. Remember, they were booing his team, and then he came out in the press conference and said, the fans need to know what sort of club this is. They should be demanding. That was at Brighton. So,
all right. Again, that's by the way. Yeah, go ahead.
It wasn't all this. He was so good. All this great thing at Brighton. No. He did well. He did all right, but not amazing.
Yeah. Again, if you're watching, if you haven't, we need 11 more likes to get it to 100 likes. But the disparity between the number of likes, 89, to number of votes, 192 votes for the again poll. I'm going to end the poll anyway, which asks who would you rather let go? 35% says N'Golo Kante and 65% says Jorginho. I'd be surprised if the case was the other way around. But that's by the way. So thank you guys. Keep liking the stream. If you haven't, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. My screen is currently frozen. But Rodrigo, if you can hear me, Rodrigo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Okay, I want to start with you. Let's go into this one. We'll come back to all the random topics in a bit. Modric and what's his name, Joao Felix, the two of the players. Which of them do you prefer?
Modric. I think Joao Felix is a bit too similar to Kai Havertz, and to be fair, I wasn't impressed with him at all. And maybe he's Atletico Madrid, even with Portugal. He's a bit of a luxury player for me. He's a player that once you've built your team, he's cherry on top of the cake. But Modric, if you have him in your team, he's part of the furniture. He is actually, because the way he plays. I watched him in the Champions League games and some highlights. What I'm impressed with is his directness. One thing that Chelsea lack, if you look at Newcastle, not Man City anymore, Arsenal, these two teams these two teams at the top, even Man United, they have explosiveness in the attacking third. Arsenal have Martinelli and Saka. Newcastle have Almiron, the Paraguayan guy. What
a player he's turned into.
Exactly. We don't have a player. I think it's something that you need to have. We don't have someone that's scared defenders, someone that will run at defenders, someone that's not pick the ball and run. We don't have anyone in the team. We saw Sterling was like that, but I think that's not his game. So if you get someone like this Modric guy, from the highlights and the few games I watched in the Champions League, I think he fit that profile. I think that profile is needed in the Premier League to be successful. I feel like you need to be dynamic in not just in midfield, in attack as well.
And he's aggressive too.
Aggressive. That's the thing. Like you need that. I think Chelsea we don't have an outlet. That's another thing. We don't have. The reason Reece James is so good for us is the only outlet that we have in the team. He's the only one willing to take people on, willing to run at defenders. When he's not in the team, we struggle because everyone is flat. All our attackers are flat. They lack balls to feet, passing the ball around. You can play like that, but you need an elite creator in midfield. We don't have that. So we need someone that can disrupt defenses. And I think Modric, I think it could be the key. Personally, I like Leao. Coach, you say you like Modric. Give me either one of them, I think will do a job. Joao Felix is a bit too... He doesn't have the explosiveness of Mudryk. He's a bit too slow. I think he's not. I don't think he's that as creative as some people think he is. Because even Atletico Madrid, his numbers are not looking really good. So,
and there's no telling where you can say again. Joao Felix is he's a utility player. He's very versatile. So he's not. There's no one particular position you'd say now he's specialized in this particular position.
He's not explosive enough. He's not explosive enough in my book. He's not.
Yeah, he's more of a 10 than he is.
Yeah.
Let's look at their numbers because it's important we do that. I've seen Modric play again, and somebody I forgot who it was that mentioned him in the chat during the summer transfer window. That was when I started researching him. Before I look at that, I'm going to put up a poll in a bit also. 96 likes, just 4 more to get it to 100. Let's do that and shoot for 150 as soon as possible. Drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, people. The likes do go a long way. Now, look at this. I don't know if you guys can see my screen very well.
Yeah.
Just look at this. Again, I saw this and I was amazed. 1920, probably, that's how many years ago? Probably he was still 18 years old at then. So only got to play 3 games, no goals, no assists. Only got a 2020, 21, got to play 3 games, no assists, no goals. Then I think he was 20 in 21, 22. He was 20 years old, I think. I think he should be, let's say he was 20 then. He played again 11 matches, scored 2 goals and got 6 assists. And he stays on the flank.
Yeah.
He's a winger, really. 6 assists. And then in again, the current season, 12 matches, 7 goals, 7 assists. That's, again, you see that, really. To me, this is such a talent. And if you see him play, he's not too selfish, really. He finishes very well. Go ahead.
I don't know if these stats can appear anywhere, like the number of sprints he does, the number of dribble he takes on. I think
Oh yeah, this is a simplified stat.
yeah.
Yeah, so again, to me, he's one player I really do want at Chelsea. Let's look at Joao Felix before I bring in Ty to talk about which player, again, he prefers of the two players. And I want to ask those in the chat the same question too. This is the number of Joao Felix. As much as I understand that Atletico Madrid, they play a very negative form of football, which can be, you can say, leads to Joao Felix not, again, being the player that he should be when playing for them. 19, 20, 27 matches, 6 goals, 1 assist. 2020, 2021, 31 matches, 7 goals, 5 assists. 21, 22, 24 matches, 8 goals, 4 assists. You can see again, and 13 this particular season. As you can see again, I think his output again, given how many games he's played, doesn't come close to what Modric has really. But he's a good player. If we're getting him, I know we're not going to be getting him as a winger. We'll probably be getting him again as a central attacking midfielder. But that's, by the way, to me, anytime, any day, even against Leao, I'd still take Modric. Really, he's explosive. Again, he's more, you can say, aggressive than Leao is. If you get my point. Ty is gone again. Hakeem, your thoughts? Which of the two players do you prefer? Would you want Chelsea to sign?
Yeah, to tell you the truth, the Modric guy, I don't know. Like, I've not watched a lot of him, and then I watched when Chelsea linked to him. When I noticed that Chelsea are linked to him, and then I went and watched his some of his short clips. But from what I've seen, to tell you the truth, I haven't seen anything that makes me go like, wow. You understand? Like, I just see somebody that who is like, who has pace, who runs with the ball, who done a lot of crosses. But then I ask myself, like, how will he perform if he comes to English Premier League? The same thing, I saw when I was watching Anthony, and then and we were linked with Anthony also. And trust me, like, I'm really happy that we didn't bring him to Chelsea. So for me, I'm not sure about it, but I think it's worth to take the risk. It was because right now I feel like he's better than at the wings. He'll do better than Pulisic or Raheem Sterling. So for me, I think it's worth to take the risk. And he's also young, so there's more room for improvement. So I will take him more than Joao Felix. If we want to bring Joao Felix, then we are bringing him as a lone player, and we don't know like if he's going to perform or not. And he's also reached like 20 million on a loan fee. So if Modric is 70 million, and then you could get him and bring him, and he's young, so I don't see how you can lose when you compare him to Joao Felix. So I'll pick him over Joao Felix. But I would like to see him excel in English Premier League. English Premier League, the defenders are different animals. The defenders are faster than some of the wingers. Let's take somebody like Anzo Odoi. Anzo Odoi is not faster than Reece James. So you could imagine, as a winger, you have to be faster. But then you have, like, in English Premier League, you have like wing backs that are faster than the defenders, even in the lower leagues. So this is my problem. I don't know if he's going to cope, because you could also see he's playing in Ukrainian league. And Ukrainian league, you cannot compare it to some of the even like Spanish league. And you have players that come from these elite leagues, and they come to Chelsea, and then they struggle. The only issue that I have is the league that he plays. Assuming if he plays in French, like a French league, because French players get to do well in English Premier League, like French league or Spanish, or French league, Spanish or Italian. Like, then I could be back in Ukrainian league. That is where my problem is. I'm kind of specific.
Here's the thing. For me, I actually see the Ukrainian league tougher than the French league. Really, that's how I see it.
Judgment. Willian came from the Ukrainian league. Fernandez came from the Ukrainian league. So you could have players.
I think we underrate the Ukrainian league, but they're actually they're strong enough. They produce good players. But here's the thing I want to say quickly. I see something that's a sign that he would do well in the Premier League. Again, he has that aggression. He has that aggression. And if we look at his numbers here, I think how many yellow cards he earned in such a few games shows you the type of player he is. In 13 matches, he earned 5 yellow cards. Here he has, again, in 24. Okay, that is Joao Felix. Let me go to, where's him? He has aggression. Where's again? This one here, Modric. Yep. He can 3 yellow cards in 12 matches. Again, to me, that shows aggression, and I like it, really. But overall, if you watch him play in a live Champions League match, or again, even his highlights, you see he has that, again, explosiveness about him. I think he would do well in the Premier League. But Rodrigo, I wanted to ask you quickly. It's easy. We talked about the brown envelopes or whatever you want to call them, or the Twitter journalists. It's easy to, again, it's very, very, again, smart to bring up the story that Chelsea are now looking to highlight, hijack Modric under the noses of Arsenal, because the route, again, it has already, again, we've already learned that Rafael Leao, that he's on the verge of extending his stay at AC Milan. Do you think really we're going after this guy? Even after the so-called, again, you could say, trusted journalists or outlets are talking about the fact that, that we're looking to sign him. Do you believe that? Do you think it is the truth, or do you think?
It's hard, isn't it? Because now we're hearing the Shakhtar director is actually coming to London, and he's actually going to attend the game, the Man City game. He's been invited by Todd Bowley. So I think there, people just put 2 and 2 together and say, well, Chelsea, if he's coming to London and he's going to meet with Todd Bowley, so Chelsea must be interested in Mudryk. Or maybe Shakhtar are using Chelsea's name to tell Arsenal to hurry up. It could be that. This deal, I'm more on the fence. I'm more on the fence. If I was to put a percentage, I'd say 20% Chelsea, 80% Arsenal. I think Arsenal have actually done concrete advances to get this guy signed. But us, I don't know. It's very tough, especially now. It's hard to trust people now. I used to trust when Fabrizio says something. I was like, oh yeah, sure. He knows someone at the club or he's heard something. But now I'm just like, are they just making this story up to get Arsenal to pay? Maybe Shakhtar are doing that. But then again, when you hear, I think his name is Dario, Shakhtar's director, he's actually coming to London. And if that's true, maybe we are interested in this guy. Yeah, maybe
so we'll see if we see Shakhtar as the director in the stadium, because if he's there, most definitely the camera will catch him.
Exactly. If he's in the stadium and the camera catch him, or if Todd Bowley want to keep this secret and the camera doesn't catch, maybe people might see him. Yeah. Well, then we can confirm whether that information that I think was Fabrizio that came up with that information saying he's invited in London. Maybe he's not going to attend the game. Maybe they want to catch up in a restaurant. Who knows?
And he also did say that Chelsea are looking at him, but only, again, waiting if things don't work out. To me, if I were Shakhtar and I know Chelsea are waiting on the wings, I'd play hard balls with Arsenal, because I want to beat in war, really. If that makes sense. Let me see what we have here. Bob, if you want to come in anytime, you feel free. The same thing as Hakeem. As much as I love the he was too... go ahead.
Is either Modric or Joao Felix even attainable?
Joao Felix is the most difficult of the two, because Joao Felix in 6 months he won something around 12 million euros for the 6 months loan.
You want to get?
That's not going to happen.
Exactly. That's why every other club that wants him have been reluctant to talk to his camp, really. Man United won him. Arsenal also won him. We want him too, but we've been reluctant due to, again, what we're going to pay for him in 6 months. And the buy option, I think something north of 90 million, because they're trying to recoup how much they paid for him. So go ahead, Bobby, what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it. To me, from what I'm seeing, it doesn't look as if either of them are attainable. And if that's the case, it's a non-starter.
Yeah, I think Modric is more attainable, but again, the fact that Arsenal have already had great personal terms with him could be a little bit discouraging to some people, but I think we could still do it. It has happened before. But let's see what happens. Rodrigo, you wanted to say something?
Now, I was gonna say, Joao Felix in a way is more attainable if you're willing to pay. Mudryk, I think, is more like we might even agree with Shakhtar, and then the players just say no, I don't want to go there. But Joao Felix actually want to leave Atletico Madrid, and Atletico Madrid want to get him. They just want someone to pay the loan fee, the salary, and to put an obligation in the loan.
Plus, he's falling out with Diego Simon.
Yeah, he's falling out with him. So yeah. There's no way. I think it's more like if we have the money and we're willing to do it, we can get Joao Felix quickly. But this Modric guy, if while we're hearing or he's interested in Arsenal have reached an agreement, it could be another Rafinha where Shakhtar agrees, and then we go to Modric. He's like, no, I don't want to go to Chelsea. Do work a deal with Arsenal. So it could be that.
And to be honest, again, the falling out between what's his name, Diego Simeone and Joao Felix, it's a long time coming. Really, he was again, he isn't helping the guys reach where he should be, given the way he likes to approach the game. The negative approach, I just don't know. As much as I love Titi, he was too stubborn to admit the midfield was past. Again, it's sold by date, and that was why, again, we are in the mess we are right now. The whole thing may have been the owner's fault. There's a chance he didn't just don't want to push it that much. There's a chance the agreement was, okay, we get to summer, we sort it out. But during the summer, we found how difficult it was actually to get in even a single player.
Frankie de Jong. So maybe he definitely knew the midfield was a problem. Otherwise, why try to sign Frankie de Jong? Or maybe that was that real thing, or was it again the brand envelope linking us to him?
No, I think really we wanted Frankie de Jong then.
But then I won't say Tuchel didn't want a midfielder. He just looking for that profile. So Frankie de Jong he's the profile that he wanted then.
Yeah. Well, okay. Thank you so much for sharing this. The work permits Brexit. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Lee. I'll find time to look at it when I get a chance. Again, big up coach in the panel and chat. Hope you're all good and life no limits. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Please, if you haven't, guys, take a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, I'll put up a poll in a bit. But just give me a few minutes to catch up. In all honesty, I can't really see us getting the win tonight. That's when we usually win, and I hope that happens. So keep saying it. But I get that's coming from deep again. Your heart, really. You don't think it's gonna really happen. Potter has to take a leaf out of Ten Hag's book. See how he came into Man U and had the guts to make the difficult decisions, benching Maguire, Ronaldo, and see what's happening. That's really what Potter has to do. He needs, again, the big player, what you've achieved don't matter. If you're not performing, you get dropped to the bench. And he hasn't done that. Instead, it just seemed, before the World Cup, it seemed as if he was really trying to play Raheem Sterling again into form for England. So I agree with you. Lala says firing the manager after 5 games it's a matter of all clubs. Again, I hear the same with Xavi every week. You have to give time. Yeah, we have to give time. I think at least to the end of the season, then we'll take stocks and see what happens. By the way, hello, Coach and Blues. Hello to you too, my good friend. I hope you're doing well. Dude is talking about the results. I'm talking about team building. Okay, understand. I'm all about patience, but he has to come across more confident than he is. Make us hard to beat, and at least again, and if he doesn't believe in certain players, then bench them. Grow a pair of you know what, and do that. But that's, by the way, here's my brother Bobby Fairview saying big up Coachella. Sacking TT would define the Burnley ownership. Again, dumbest decision we've seen in football in a while. You have every right to argue that. I'm still looking at them, still thinking, what did I see that happened really? Again, it just doesn't make any sort of sense after spending so much money getting in the players that I believe he probably told them he wanted. And yet, again, sacked him. But that's, by the way, I've moved on. But every time I still do think about it and go, what in the world happened here? Again, we need something. We need something money cannot buy, and that is players that are passionate about the club. That is the truth. Players that really do want to play for the club. One example is David Datro Fofana. Again, you're on point, bro. The Shakhtar official will watch at Chelsea versus Man City. This is what, if this is a lie, nobody gets away with that because there are cameras everywhere in the stadium. And I'm sure if they heard this already, they'd be looking for him to make sure they catch him. So again, I might not get everything in the chat, but I'll be highlighting them as I go now because there's still too many to read. What happened to Chelsea? Again, Chiesa over Modric for me. Chiesa, is he fit right now? Wasn't he out injured for a while? Yeah, but again, I don't know. I'll ask those in the chat to get again which of the players that prefer. I hope Arsenal again break the bank if they get Modric. That's what everybody is saying. Again, I hope we push them to break the bank. I'd rather take a Felix because he is good in a low block. That's what we need. I don't know what's the hype behind Modric. He plays in the lower league. Have we seen a Modric go up against a low block? That's some observations there, but I haven't taken my time to think about that myself. So right now I'm going to go back to the topics we have lined up. Let's look at them one by one. Here we have this one. Shakhtar Donetsk officials are in London today and will attend the match between Chelsea and Manchester City at Stamford Bridge tonight. Chelsea are planning talks with Shakhtar over signing their winger Mykhailo Modric, and some are saying that we've already commenced talk with them. I started talking with them already, and that again things are moving in a positive direction in favor of Chelsea. Rodrigo, do you again? You've talked about this already, and like we agreed, if that's the truth, there are cameras everywhere. We will find out on the day. This one here have to add this again with Andre Santos signed. It's unnecessary to pay top pounds of a Caicedo. I think they are similar profile, and Santos' ceiling is very high. And there's a chance he does well than Caicedo too. But the question is, are we going to get a work permit for him? But Rodrigo, your thoughts on this? Because he makes sense, really. That was why I picked it, so we can talk about it.
Yeah, could be. But the only difference between the two is Caicedo.
You could say Premier League experience.
Exactly, more experience. But then again, Caicedo was Caicedo signed from the Ecuadorian league, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, for £10 million, I think it was. Underground Potter. For four. Yeah.
So there you go. So maybe I kind of agree with this. Maybe we don't. Maybe we actually have to trust. We actually have to trust Santos, and maybe we need to put him in a team and see what he can do. Because when I remember when they signed Caicedo, I think United also wanted him, and then he didn't play for a few months, and then when he started, it was actually quite good. We need to, because Caicedo now is going to cost us a lot of money. Yeah, I think actually, I don't disagree with this. I think we need to trust Santos and help him fulfill that potential. Because if he does, it means we're not he save us a lot of money, and we focus on other things. Because I saw a quote from, I think Fabrizio put out there from Juninho, who was a Lyon
former Chelsea player, former Brazil international.
And saying how impressed he was with not just his ability as a midfielder, but his physicality for such a young player. He's already playing like a mature player. So if you have a Brazilian international saying that about you only 18. We need to trust him then. We need to create an environment so he can reach his potential.
Again, he said actually there's a chance he'd become better than him, really.
Than him, yeah.
Yeah, he said that.
He was a top player. So I think I agree with that comment. I think we need to trust these players then. We signing all
Plus, he didn't come for cheap. Nearly £20 million.
£10 for 18-year-old.
Yeah, I think we should keep him, really. He's not a player you send out to loan. It's just as the argument we'll see about, what's his name? We'll see about David Datro Fofana sending him out to loan. He played at the lower league and all that nonsense. It just doesn't make any set of sense. So Chidiabere, how are you, Chidiabere? Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. As you can see, the way I pronounce his name, we're from the same tribe in Nigeria. Again, Chelsea would rise with a very brutal force as soonest. I hope so. Maybe if you go to church, keep praying for us to rise. Coach, really, what did I say? Why are you fighting me, I see? Tell me why you're fighting me. I want to know. Did I argue against you? Because I said probably I prefer, again, a Modric. Do you really rule out a Modric because he plays for Shakhtar? That's what some people are doing, really, because he plays for Shakhtar the next. So Haaland was bad because he played for Dortmund and Bayern won everything. Yeah, exactly. So that's a good way to put it out there.
Look at the guy Napoli signed, the Georgian guy. He used to play in the Georgian league or something, and look at him. So you can't really,
yeah.
If the numbers, because what I think you need to look at the underlying numbers. If this guy has good numbers, he has good attributes, and those attributes are needed in the Premier League, yeah, they can be successful.
And plus, Haaland started from the Norwegian league, really.
Yeah.
Isn't it the same? Yeah, the same club that again Datro Fofana played for.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. In London, come on, guys. This Modric story is non-starter. The Sunning Club and agents put it out to hurry Arsenal up. Let's stop talking for those journalists. We should have learned from Barca again in the summer. If that's how you think, but again, I think there's too much there to say it's nothing really. Let's see what happens. I really want to find out. We are modern. Footballer's hairstyle. Okay, do you own? I get it. Do you own a hair salon? Maybe I will visit one day. But yeah, we're not modern. I think we're good. We have a problem. We just need to spend strategically this January transfer window, and we'll be good. We have to take into account that he plays for the Ukrainian league, the same league where we signed. Again, what's his name? We signed William from. I think Man City's Fernandinho. Didn't he play for Shakhtar?
Yeah.
So yeah, those are fine players, and it just looks like every player you sign from the Ukrainian league does well in the Premier League, really. Yeah, and like I said, I think it's a more physical league than the French league, if you ask me. But I get where your argument is coming from. William was there to get his work permit sorted before he joins a top club. Maybe again, I'd rather take Leao. That's your choice. Mudryk is a Premier League player. Who? Maybe probably misspelled something. Leao again has done it in the Serie A, and when he came to when he comes to Stamford Bridge, when he came to Stamford Bridge, he was the standout best player. But the truth is, at this point, it's looking more likely that he will extend his stay at AC Milan. So we don't know what's going to happen. So I'm going to go back again to the panelists. We have quite a lot lined up. I enjoyed reading everything you have there. But sometimes I need to go back so that the panelists get their opinion. Bobby, I don't know if you have anything to add to this one before I move on to the next topic. Okay, it's probably at work and busy. So let's move on to the next topic. I'm sure probably he doesn't have anything to say about that one in particular. The next one we have lined up here is Chelsea's last offer. Okay, this is important. I just saw it as an update. Again, today, yeah, Chelsea's last offer to Benfica for Enzo Fernandez was 90 million euros plus. Hakim Ziyech, David Datro Fofana, and Andre Santos were also offered on loan as part of the deal, but he was rejected. I don't believe this. Like what the heck is this?
3 players?
Yeah.
What? No way. Do you know how hard it is to get this deal done if you actually include these players? Because these individual players have to agree to this deal. What if Ziyech say, no, I'm not going to Benfica? And then what?
Yeah, it becomes even more difficult.
Yeah. No, I don't think this is I think this is just nonsense.
Yeah. Again, just saying hello here, hi here again to again in summer signed FDJ and Vlahovic. Yeah, I think Vlahovic I want, yeah. Maybe not FDJ. He's still gonna be very expensive even in summer, really. Yeah. And after spending how much we're spending this transfer window, I don't think we're spending too much in the summer.
Champions League. What would he leave a Champions League club in Barcelona? Where he could go to Man United, who potentially will finish in the top 4. We've got no chance to sign these type of players, man.
Yeah, plus Barcelona are not looking to sell anymore.
Yeah,
They're not looking until probably if they get someone who can replace Busquets if he can once he retires, then maybe they decide to sell him still. But right now they're not looking to sell him. FDJ coming to us in the summer, I really don't see that happening. You lot keep trying to sign players that prefer other clubs. It ends the 2000s anymore. Target players that want to come to Chelsea. Good suggestion, but the truth remains, nothing has really changed.
But this
Players
guy,
saying, yeah, go ahead.
But for Enzo,
us to those players. Jeez.
Sorry, what did you say, Rodrigo?
It's the journalist linking us to those players. It doesn't. We don't know what's going on. This guy
Yeah.
just think like he takes the word of these journalists as gospel. No, we don't know. We don't even know
Yeah.
whether the Mudryk guy is 100% want to go Arsenal.
Yeah, that's the truth. Again, we'll do a watch along, but we're not showing the match on the screen. Use the commentary. We discuss events as it happens. If you want to be part of it, up to you. Titi said midfield was the last position in the team we needed to look at. Okay. Social joins exactly. Okay, I'm not sure what West Ham. Anything else? Ty, you wanted to say something? Okay, not really. So we'll move on from that one. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Apologies if I miss your comments. And please, as you're watching, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much. Enzo deal is not completely off. Again, yeah, the clubs are still talking. Thank you so much for providing us with that. Honestly, we need to play the younger players. Yep, that's my argument. If we really want to, again, if it's a long-term project, then we need to start playing them. Shane Grant says, again, bless up, Brethren. A first time tuning into your channel. I would like to know, is Sparta managing the team or the players? Rodrigo, I'm sorry, you take that
Shane Grant, I tell you, my brother, Pot is not is doing neither. He's getting managed by these players. He's getting taught by these players because he's got no backbone. Because if he had one, he would have dropped certain underperforming players, and he would have started. We would have seen his identity on the pitch. We're not seeing anything. So yeah, that's
yeah. There's no clarity as to where the process is going, Shane. And Shane, thank you so much for finding the time to join the show, and please make sure to subscribe and to like the video and subscribe if you haven't. Ty, do you want to add anything to Shane's comment? You're good. Okay, Ty is again off his desk, but again, good question there. And to me, again, out to what again my brother Rodrigo just said. There's no clarity as to what direction we're going. If anything, what I'm seeing is so much confusion. It's really concerning that he's had the duration of the World Cup to train with these players. Again, a lot of them actually to figure out a way to again for everybody to play as a unit. That hasn't happened really. But do I think he's capable of changing it? Maybe, I don't know. I'm just concerned about, again, the whole thing that I've seen. Even some games we've won under him, I still did see enough to say there's a problem here. But go ahead, you were saying something?
One thing I'll add to that as well, people talk about winning mentality. I know every coach wants to win, yeah, fair enough. But you need to instill that, especially at the start of a project. You need to start a project with a manager that want to win, that demand winning. Remember, with Mourinho, when Mourinho joined us, yeah, Mourinho had a winning mentality, and that winning mentality went on for up to 2012. Because I can say all the way to 2012, it was Mourinho initial foundation that carried us to the Champions League in 2012. So you need to start off with a manager that instilled in the players, and then
because that's important,
and he's gonna carry on. Yeah. You can't, yeah. See?
Yeah, that's really important. Good point, Rodrigo. Benfica manager having a right go at Chelsea, probably because we're unsettling the player. And I heard he's kind of rebelling. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's one.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to remain there, which means, again, I think they have no option now than to sell him.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make any sort of sense trying to keep him. Go ahead.
Think about what this could do for his family, for himself. He's gonna earn good salary. He can help a lot of people back home in Argentina. Come on, this is a life-changing move. I mean, Benfica probably earns, I don't know how much he earns there, but Chelsea could maybe quadruple his own personal salary.
And Benfica will never do that for him.
Yeah, exactly. So this is actually affected. You remember Alvarez, the Mexican guy, because his life could have improved. Because football is a short career. Because you never know. Maybe he sees this as an opportunity of a lifetime, and that's probably why he's angry. Yeah.
Yeah, because again, I think you make a very good, important point, and to me, that makes me say, actually, you know what? This is going to happen. Enzo Fernandez is going to come to Chelsea, because two things: if they force him to stay, they're keeping an unhappy player, even though he'd be playing as a professional, but something would change.
Yes.
Something would change mentally. Plus, they can't pay him. I know they're trying to offer him a new contract, but they cannot pay him anything close to how much Chelsea will be willing to pay him. So they have a problem. And in the summer, they'd have to sell him for less.
Yeah, and I don't see any club that will pay the release clause.
I don't see that really. It doesn't make business sense if they're reluctant, if they refuse to sell to us. And again, and I'm for Couch Critics again tweet, which says as long as we're not bending over for any club, that he likes that. If the fee is the problem really, that he's happy with that. Is this again? That's not the window I'm looking for. I think it's this one. Just 1 second, please. It's this one here. So we've looked at this again. This particular nothing here, something blank. Okay, I don't know why I opened that one there. This one again, it's embarrassing that we need 15 points, and the state of our squad and even manager mentality suggests. When I saw this, was Liam that sent this to me. I nearly laughed out. I just held myself because somebody was speaking then. But this is interesting, really. Even some of the biggest accounts are giving up on the manager. Some that hasn't given up on those probably are English and a bit biased.
Yeah, this guy is always.
Sorry?
This guy, especially this account, always support Potter. So what? Yeah,
he's changing. Even Nee, I think, but Nee is still on the fence. Nini is still on the fence. He said something like, "You're gonna get yourself sacked if you don't change things." But he's getting closer to saying that he has a problem, really.
And Rory.
Rory is again. Rory doesn't take him time to give up on a manager. He hardly says give managers time, really, except for Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
But that's, by the way, it's embarrassing. We need 15 points, and the state. You can say again, and the state of our squad, and even the manager's mentality suggests that's a tough ask, really. I will come back to this tweet at the end of the month to see if we've progressed at all. Again, we're all walking into trouble. That's what it seems like, really. Your thoughts, Rodrigo?
Yeah, I agree with this. I don't see where our next win is coming from. We play Man City. We play Man City again. We play Fulham. We play Palace. We play Liverpool. Where's our next win? Liverpool away. Palace at home.
Oh my God!
I can't see. I don't see. Are you confident that we're gonna beat Crystal Palace at home?
I would say again. Even the surprise. I think we're gonna win the games we think we're gonna lose. Why do I say that? Listen, let me explain why I say that. I'm seeing that underground, Potter, we only seem to play well if teams come at us, if they don't defend deep.
What? Nottingham Forest didn't play deep. Nottingham Forest attacked us. That's
what I'm saying again. But even at that, we were poor. But again, it doesn't make sense anyway to argue that since you mentioned in the Nottingham Forest game. Go ahead.
In the past, we used to be happy with teams attacking us. We used to then we can exploit whatever they leave. But now, because we are so fragile, we are so weak mentally, we are scared. Once a team put us under pressure, we crumble. I actually prefer teams to just play mid block, maybe give us a bit of time to grow into the game. But
when you say the issue we had against Nottingham Forest was the intensity mainly.
Yeah, intensity and the fact that Nottingham Forest actually attack us through the middle. They just and then through the middle and through the right hand side, Aspilicueta side. That it's so easy to play against Chelsea, man. It's so easy. We're so easy. We're weak.
Oh my, that's concerning, really. If you're watching, 106 likes. I'm showing in front end probably around 1718 likes. But if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, thank you for all the likes. We have a few topics to touch. It's been an interesting show, an enjoyable one. Coach, again, we smacked 85 million when we actually needed to pay 120 million. I get where the argument is coming from. It's not gonna happen. What's not gonna happen? I want to know. Please, guys, keep liking the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much for all the subscribers we've gained today. I think around 20 plus subscribers already. Okay, around 40 actually in total. So that's not easy, but thank you so much for that. It says Benfica needs to be smart, not stupid. That's the thing, and you can try to get them to be. I think they're smart, really, which means they have to sell now. If they don't sell now, it wouldn't make any sort of sense. Yeah, go ahead.
So regardless of whether it comes to Chelsea or not, Enzo Fernandez is not going to start Benfica for 3 years. He's going to leave. Benfica, that's the model. Benfica buy these young players, train them, and then sell them. It's literally how they work. Otherwise they don't make money. So they will sell him. It's just like we just have to come up with an agreement. Otherwise we'll go to another team in the future. Maybe for less.
Yeah.
At that point.
But you can say things have changed a bit, which is why they really want to keep him, but it's a risk. And if my memory serves me right, didn't we sign David Luiz from there?
Yes.
Ramirez
and Matic.
We sold Matic to them, right?
Yes, and then we bought
Matic was in our academy, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Probably they're salty.
Sorry.
Probably they're salty.
You think they're salty?
We beat them 2-1 in the Europa League finals. Probably salty.
Oh yeah. Okay, and again, Matic played for them on that day, right?
Oh,
yeah. Ivanovic scored the winning goal for us. Correct me if I'm wrong. With all this again out, Benfica will stand firm. Let's see what happens. We might end up in 15th. Whatever happens, I don't just want us to get Europa League or Europa Conference League. I want us completely out of top four, no European assignment at all. I also feel some players get played too much. So again, it's no more playing from the heart, but for the money. I feel Chelsea can beat any team if they play from the heart. That's the truth. The players just look disinterested on the pitch. I can't pronounce that word. So it makes sense. Benfica doesn't need to sell right now. I can wait for June, just like Brighton with Mykhailo. Players won't lose value. Really? I didn't know that. I was thinking maybe again in the summer they get him for less, but right now we're the only suitor and we're willing to pay more according to what has been reported. No, Jose brought Matic.
Yeah, from Benfica.
Okay. Wasn't he at Chelsea before? Then we sold him to Benfica.
No. Ancelotti gave him a debut, if I'm not mistaken, in that 2010-11 season.
The winning season, the title winning season. I remember that. I think the last game or before that too.
Yeah, and then because he's an academy, like young player, we just
did we sell him or did we loan him out to them and then sold him to them later? Because I remember he was in our academy.
Yeah. I'm not sure about loan.
And all we know is that he was at Benfica. That's all we know because we played against him in the Europa League final.
Yes, yeah.
That's all I know. And then we brought him back again with Jose.
Francis Winter, release clause activate now. Can you elaborate? I think we should get a better goalkeeper than who? I'm not sure who you're talking about. The fact that we are this low and the Chelsea players are playing like they don't care. Yeah, I get what that does to you. Rodrigo, go ahead. Sorry, you were saying something.
No, I was just laughing at the comment. No, sorry.
Okay. I'm sure Nemanja Fawole, you should already learn that if you use more than 3 emojis, it will block your message. So that's, by the way, again, I don't know, Rodrigo, you've talked about this. I don't know if Bobby wants to talk about it. Ty, you want to talk about this here?
It's embarrassing we need 15 points on the stadium for a squad and even management.
What did I do? Yeah, but go ahead. I'm sure you saw that, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's a lot of things that seem to be going wrong at Chelsea right now. We have a manager who's coming out and is giving the impression that we have to accept mediocre in order for us to be superior. So I mean everything is going wrong, but I guess we just have to see what happens. I mean, we're not doing good, and it looks as if this season our squad has gotten worse, and
Mhm.
we don't know what to do. I mean, it's like we're going backwards because at least when
Yeah,
Graham Potter first came in, we looked lacking in some aspects, but we at least looked like we knew how to move the ball. We don't know how to move the ball. Every pass you make is being intercepted, deflected. We look. It's like we don't know. It's like we've forgotten how to play. So
it's like Lampard's
it's
day.
weird.
It's like it's like we've regressed so much. We're going back to Lampard's days, to the Lampard. That's what we are.
Yeah, yeah,
We
you
made
could argue that. Yeah,
few
yeah, and
steps.
this one says, "Go ahead, Rodrigo." Sorry.
It's like we made few steps forward with Tuchel, and now we just literally gone way back, way back.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's the case. If you're watching, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. This one says Benfica coach. That's a club that wants Enzo. They know we don't want to sell him. They try to have the player on their side. It's a lack of respect and unacceptable for them to drive the player crazy and say they pay the clause and then want to negotiate. So
This
this
reminds me of
sounds like really what we did, what we heard, what's been said we did.
yeah. So it's
Tariq,
not
were you saying
lies.
something?
No, I wanted to say two things. It's not a lie. We actually did that because the Benfica coach has come out and said this. The next thing, this reminds me. The first part of that reminds me of what Brandon Rodgers said when he wanted Fofana. He said we don't want to sell him. Doesn't mean that we won't. He says we don't want to.
Just show
So
them the money.
yeah, if you show them the money, it's a total different things, and we'll do more than negotiate. We've already motivated the player to come, so no need to do the negotiation, but the motivation is already there.
Yeah, it makes sense, but it's a good thing since the player wants to come. It puts them in a difficult situation. I think they have no option right now than to sell him. Keeping him is a huge risk, if we're being honest. But that's by the way, again, I get it. He's really indeed having a go at Chelsea Football Club. Do I have any other update here? I don't think I have any other updates here. And if you're watching, if there's anything else you want us to talk about, if you have a question, go ahead, shoot it. Enzo, for now, again, we've talked about this, and Enzo Fernandez is willingness to join Chelsea means the move is not dead. It's as simple as that. It's dangerous keeping an unhappy
What are
player.
those stats that I just saw?
Sorry?
What were those stats that I just saw?
On the screen here.
I
Modric.
saw some
Oh,
stats. I
this
saw seven
stats
goals
here.
and seven
Yeah, we
assists.
looked at the stats of Joao Felix, and again Modric. This is the one I like the most. Look at this
7 goals and 7 assists in
in
12
12
matches.
games. Yeah. Plus again here in 11 matches, 2 goals, 6 assists. He's just brilliant in terms of his assist numbers.
No, man,
For being honest.
bring him to Chelsea, man. Bring the Ukrainian to Chelsea, man. No,
Yeah, plus
no.
plus again, this is not just me basing my judgment on the numbers alone. I've seen him play on occasion since we started looking at him in January. Whenever they're playing, I like to watch them. Let's see. Again, is that a fight? Again, why is Mendy not in goal and have they loaned him out? No, Mendy, I don't think it's going anywhere. Actually, we learned that Mendy missed the Bournemouth game because he had a broken bone. I think it's a broken bone. I'm not sure. Let's see if it's still listed as injured here.
What happened to Nottingham Forest though? Because I saw him training.
Yeah,
What happened to who?
Did he break his bone again?
Who?
Mendy, because he was training in Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
For the Nottingham Forest game. I found that weird.
So
Is he actually injured,
maybe
or-
he's back again.
No, but we're told that he was injured. That's why I missed the Nottingham Forest game. But he was training. So what? Did he break another bone? I'm confused.
I'm not sure what happened. I was asking
advised?
around. I think it was Glenn that informed me. Yeah, he broke his leg. He had not broke his leg. He had a broken bone or something. I'm not sure exactly what he told me, But the whole thing is that he was injured. But I think he's fine now. Again, didn't they say that he started training again? Okay. And Ty, yeah. So after seeing this, would you rather Modric or Felix? I really want to know from you. And if you are in the chat, I think again we're rounding off. If you have any questions, shoot it there. We'll try to answer it. If not, we'll move on. Or if we see any fresh update, we'll talk about it. I'm looking at the screen now. I haven't seen any fresh update there. This not that one. This particular Windows there. Let's see anything else. It asks a question. Why is the president not having? I'm not sure what you're asking there. Again, I wish I understood that. Havertz isn't good enough to play for Chelsea. If that's how you feel, I have my argument as to why. Again, he hasn't performed consistently, but yeah, I get it. Kishan, you really think that? That's what he really thinks. This is not the first time he says that. Please, Chelsea sign Joao Felix. It's not going to be. It's a complicated deal, if any. Again, he may end up actually not leaving Atletico Madrid this window. But we'll see what happens. Chelsea have won just one of their last 13 games, again, at home against top 6 sides, or how the mighty has fallen. That's concerning, really. Go ahead.
Last top 6 team that we beat was Tottenham at home. And that was last year, yeah. Last season. Last time we beat Man City was under Lampard. One Pulisic run through the defense.
Mm-hmm.
That's we beat Man City at home.
Yep, and
we lost.
That was when
2019 when Liverpool won the league. 2020.
What year did we win the Champions League again? We beat them the year we won the Champions League.
Yeah, but not at home. We beat them away. We beat them 2-1. We lost.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
We lost 3-1 at home. Aston Odoi scored, and then we lost 1-0 last season, and then we lost 1-0 twice to them after that. No. Sorry, 3-1 and then 1-0 last season at home.
Last season they beat us home and away.
Yeah, they beat us home and away. But before that, before losing 3-1, we beat them 2-1 under Lampard.
Yeah, it makes sense. Let's move on to the next topic, really. Rodrigo, how about this guy? What's his name? Mokoko. What do we need him for, really?
There you go. Yeah, is he a striker? What is he?
I'm not sure.
I did watch him play against Bayern Munich in the game, but I haven't watched him enough. It looks like he's one of those players, low center of gravity, tough on the ball, that can dribble, but I can't really. I don't know. He's a free agent apparently in the summer, but apparently he won.
Which means Dortmund will most likely keep him.
Yeah, he wants to go to Barcelona though, and Barcelona actually. That's what I think. One of the things they were doing in summer, they love this free agent. So I think
I think we're actually the favorite to sign him, which is why I'm asking the question: why do we need him? Again, the reports out there are that we're the favorite to sign him. Why do we need him? What are we going to do with him? Who makes way? Because it just doesn't make any sort of sense, really.
Yeah, he probably plays centre forward?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out for you now, but again, this is a bit slow because I have a lot of applications open. Just give me 1 second. I'm using the iPad here. Let me see. His contract expires. Just 1 second. His contract expires in June 2023, so he lives on the free if they can tie him down. I think the best thing they can do is sell him this January right now. He plays, a center forward, really. He's a number 9.
Number 9. But he's short and got low center of gravity. It's like
which gives him balance. Hazard, but Hazard, what gives him balance the most is his backside, really.
Yeah, like Aguero, like that sort of like.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. But we signed Fofana now, so again, I guess Fofana. They're similar age, aren't they? How old is this guy? 19.
Let me check. 18. So except if the plan will be to sign him, keep him on loan there. It doesn't make, but there's limit to how many players we can actually send on loan. I know we know that already. So why do we need them, really?
Just give me a right back, man. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't understand. I think if Havertz goes to another top team, he does well. And again, I'm not going to be selfish, but I think the good thing is that the manager himself trusts him. I think he would dominate in Bundesliga. Again, as far as a Premier League, he would be bank average. Okay, let's see what happens. Chelsea must bench Sterling. Good luck at Chelsea benching Sterling today. As long as Graham Potter is the manager. If that happens, seriously, I'd be very surprised. I mean, I would sell Mount and Havertz. Oh, yeah, you see that? We all have our opinions. Again, I wouldn't sell Havertz, really. Mount ain't good enough for Chelsea, if that's how you see it. That reminds me, I'm going to say this again. The argument about between Mount, what's his name, Matt Zivoy, and the one that looks like, that brother that looks like Kepari Zabalaga, and Minarai FC.
What? I don't get that comparison. They look nothing alike.
Matt
You only have to see
Zivoy.
head shape. Just the head shape alone. That's the only thing. They look nothing alike.
Well, okay, let's say that. But my point I wanted to make is that, again, what's his name? Again, have you tried? What's the Minarai actually doesn't think Mason Mount poops. But my Zivoy thinks, Matt thinks Mason Mount walks around with the toilet all the time because he poops every minute. That argument is so entertaining to watch the two of them go at each other. But that's, by the way, again, these big money signings haven't worked for Chelsea. Again, let's just go again, get Guardiola and Moises Caicedo. Caicedo, it will not come cheap, really. If you're being honest, again, we need to have a transfer ban to stop all this crap about, again, who we're buying and we're not buying. So, yeah, exactly. And then we have, again, a very good transfer window by only watching other clubs fight over players. But I hope that doesn't happen. Please, Makoko, quality players, that's how you see him. Let me see anything else here. Time to go. I have to start making my journey to the bridge. Have fun again and stay healthy. Thank you so much. I hope they win. Again, I hope they win. I guess you don't want to spend that much money for tickets and they end up not winning or being disgraced. I hope they play well overall. It says again, if the Chelsea don't want again to pay the price for Enzo, why did they try to negotiate? I don't know really. I have to be honest. But they're Sheila Dunn official. Thank you so much, Roy. I appreciate that update. Thank you so much. His average, who's average? You let us know. Mineral CFC is a proper Chelsea with no again. I'm not saying this. I hope you go tell him that he's gonna tear you apart. Yeah, but that's, by the way, I get it, and you're entitled to your opinion, but let it be less insulting, really. I would like to see Enzo Mount and experienced players like Kante play together. I would want to see that too. So again, how many players so far has Chelsea signed? Three this transfer window, really, and that's actually impressive, if being honest. But that's, by the way, again, coming to you, Rodrigo. Your
Finally, we've announced.
Sorry.
Finally, we've announced a signing.
Oh, again, two players at the same time, right?
No, Benoit Badiashile. That's the one.
Oh, that's a good one. So, official announcement from the club.
Yeah, I said, welcome to Chelsea, Benoit Badiashile.
Excellent. It was just, again, I think the hold-up was just his medical. And he stays with us. I think I'm concerned about Santos. I hope he gets his work permit and gets to stay with the club. Ty, your final thoughts so we can call it a day. I think it was streamed again for how many hours? 3 hours now. We should call it a day. So I can go take care of things. He said Lampard is better than Iniesta and Mount is better than Deco. Oh my goodness! I don't. Why did I even read that? But yeah, this contract is crazy, Ty. 7 to 5 years, 7.5, 7.5. Wow.
How old is Benoit again?
I think it's 21.
You know what?
Okay, so we keep him until his prime.
Do you know what's scary now? Yeah, I feel like these guys. Remember, there's a clause in the contract when they were selling the club that they can't take profit for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to buy all these players now, put them on this long contract, and then in the future they don't have to invest in the club anymore when they start taking profit.
But there's also a footballing aspect from a football perspective. That's a plus because keeping players together for a while can turn them into a team that nobody can beat, really. Again, a team that will be hard to beat. They're just better phrase. There's no team that can be beaten. Paulat's got zero hype because of, again, the Enzo, mainly because of how much you're paying for him. It's just like the Datro Fofana, again, transfer. A lot of people are doubting him, probably because we didn't pay that much money for him, which is a good thing. He comes in, again, people don't expect him to do much because the money we paid for him isn't a problem. He has less stuff to worry about. Like, Enzo probably will have to be worrying about how much we paid for him. He has to, again, under pressure to do more to measure how much you paid for him. But for Datro Fofana, that's not the case. For, again, Badiashile, that's not the case. Even against Santos, you could say that's not the case. They have to perform and not worry about how much you paid for him. But Rodrigo, your final thoughts on everything we talked about today. Then I'll get from Ty. If Bobby is there, fine. If not, we'll call it a day.
Yeah, final thought, please just suck. Yeah, it's disappointing to see that this Enzo Fernandez deal is collapsing, but they still hope.
But it's not really. You saw today that we're still talking.
Yeah, so they still hope that we're still talking.
Yeah.
According to the Lexus.
No, we're talking, but are we talking something sensible?
That's a problem. So
okay, you know what? What do we have to really believe any of these things, given what happened? Then no. Go ahead, Rodrigo.
Yeah, a lesson to learn for all the fans and people that listen is have critical thinking. Whenever you hear these rumors, don't get too excited. Don't think it's done until, like we've seen with Badiashile, until he's on the Chelsea website. In the past, I would have told you until what's his name, Fabrizio said, "Here we go." But now, even that is not gospel. So until you see on the Chelsea website, then do it. And don't get too excited. Be happy that Chelsea are linked to players, but don't get too excited. That's my advice.
Yeah, and again, the truth is, get used to people saying all those things about Chelsea. It's going to keep happening because we're Chelsea.
And Porter,
yeah,
and Porter out. That's what I'm going to end on that.
Oh Lord, that's brave.
I'm gonna speak this into existence. I'm gonna keep this until he's gone.
What if it takes 5 years? You could have do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Ty. Your final thoughts, so we can call it a day. It looks like Bobby is out working. He will have time to add to anything.
No, I'm here. I'm waiting for you.
Okay. You go ahead, and I'll round off with. Let me round off with you, Bobby. Ty, your final thoughts, so we can call it a day.
All right. Save the best for last. All right. So yeah, I mean, this whole Enzo thing is hilarious. I mean, if it's what is being said that we have a big part to play in the fact that it collapsed, it's disrespectful to Benfica. So I can understand that the coach's frustration, because he was expecting this player to leave, and for a reasonable reason, which is that we were going to trigger the release clause, or rather go over it. So I can understand their frustrations. I still think, a part of me still thinks that it will happen, probably because I've gotten too invested in this transfer rumor. So I hope it works. But I'm happy that Badiashile has been confirmed finally. A lot of people were wondering when it would happen, and we finally announced it. I think I don't think we have officially announced Fofana, actually.
No, we haven't. I don't think so. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I think that may be the next thing that we may see.
No, we did.
Did we? Oh yeah, we did. We did something.
It's Santos that
like
we have
pre-contract, blah blah blah. Yeah.
No, but I mean
Rodrigo.
officially.
Very correct.
I mean officially.
Yeah, it's official too. I think it was on the club website too.
No, but I mean officially. Like
I don't know what officially is, right? But
no, I'm talking like the Cardiff maker. When we did a few with Aston Villa, we did that. And then when it came, we unveiled it. We haven't unveiled Fofana.
No, we haven't. Oh, yeah, you're right.
All right. Again, please, I don't have too much time. Ty, go ahead, round us so Bobby can take a minute or two to round up for us so we can go.
Yeah, so I mean, we have a game against Man City. We'll have to hope and see and pray that we actually get a good result. And yeah, Chelsea are in a dire situation. We have to hope for the best.
All right, thank you very much. The poll, which asks who would you rather the club sign? It had Chiesa, it had Modric, it had Felix, 45% for Felix, 26 for Chiesa, and 29 for Felix. Modric has 45%. So yeah, a lot of people want Modric more. But that's by the way. Just quickly, Bobby, your thoughts, your final thoughts, so we can call it a day. All right. While I wait for him, okay, go ahead,
I'm
Bobby.
here. I was just listening to the Benfica coach.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
look, um, Chelsea have announced the Badia Shield deal, which I think was done a couple of days ago, probably to try and take away a little bit from all this Enzo Fernandez issue. And yet again, the words of the coach from Benfica. Well, this is the real world. We've had clubs come after our players constantly. We had that with Hazard. We had that with Rudiger. So I don't know why he's pretending that he's in this world where, because you have
Yeah, it looked like Bobby is having a connection issue. Bobby, if you're still there, again, I have just about a minute. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I just want to say again, while I wait for Bobby to round
the
us in,
city,
yeah, go ahead.
and I'm concerned in this City game. Physicality, I think, is going to be an issue. I'm hoping that the right back, they try that youngster. Is it Abu, whatever his name is? He
Abu,
has
I think it's Abu.
some physicality. The midfield, I think we have to flood it. Zakaria, Chukwemeka, I hope to see them. And we, as far as I'm concerned, simply have to win this game. It's
Yeah.
possible, but we have to be on our game. I'm tired of all this, oh, we're just here to take part and that kind of Potter mentality. Potter seems to want to turn Chelsea into Brighton. We're not Brighton. We don't aspire to be Brighton. It is annoying that when the Man City owners came in, they went to imitate Barcelona and take from their backroom staff. And we have gone to take from Brighton's backroom staff, which to me, I don't know. There's still a lot of questions to answer. But we have another signing announced, which shows that at least they are trying. They're trying to put us in the right direction. We have a big game today, which we can win. We have to believe we can win it, and we have to apply ourselves. One of the things we need to remember, an awful lot is made of Man City. Oh, City this, City that. Okay, fine. They've got a good squad at the moment. They're strong at the moment. But we are Chelsea. We're Chelsea as FC since 1905. We are a very unique club. We do stand and represent one of the greatest clubs in this country, not to mention that, maybe even the world. We have to hold our chests out and we have to go out there and prove it. You battle for that badge. You have pride in that badge. They're coming to our turf. They're coming to the hallowed ground of Stamford Bridge. We cannot accept anything other than victory, period.
Yeah.
I don't care
Thank you
who
very
you
much. Yeah. Thank you very much, Bobby. Again, unfortunately, I got to run. As much as I love listening to you talk about Chelsea, I think we may well do an evening show. Yeah, we have two shows today, pre-game show and the watch along. So, Bobby, thank you so much. Atai, thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough. And to everybody in the chat, I see everyone else have found time to join us. Liam Lane, the captain of the house, I appreciate you. Everyone else who was there, thank you so much. I cannot thank you guys enough. God bless us all. See you guys next time, and bye.